Podcast Holiday 2013 edition.
Lights. Do we always have those?
Yeah, there's always been there.
No, I mean like the last week. Do we have that?
Yeah,
too?
we've had the Christmas lights there forever.
All right.
Forever.
I know you just put them up there today, Kara. I was fucking with him.
Wow.
Yeah, she just put it up there. This is my angry podcast.
Nice.
Why are you mad?
I got a list of
He's
shit.
mad.
Oh, wait,
He showed up
introductions
mad.
first, Gus.
Oh yeah,
I'm really excited.
Gus
Gavin.
Jack.
And me.
and Gus, featuring Gus.
Presented by Gus.
Got a lot of stuff to be mad about. Gonna spread it out.
Merry
So-
Christmas.
First of all, I just want to comment. The podcast today is pre-recorded. We're not actually live because we are off for the holidays.
Ruin the magic.
We recorded this in October.
This is recorded in October 2012. So we wanted to take a little time off. So we're not going to make everyone work. We're not total slave driver taskmasters. Because it's not just us. There's a lot of people working in the other room, I think, that,
that is true.
people forget.
I'm in England right now.
You are?
It's weird to be here.
Well,
I wonder if I
have
could
you-
watch this live from England.
I was gonna say, have
hi me, or if I die in a plane crash on the way there. Bye.
in memory. Gavin free.
Gavin, that'd be really bizarre.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we got something to hope for.
Oh, by the way, if
With a
that does
Christmas
happen,
wish.
absolutely air this.
Yeah.
Broadcast it still.
You know, that's
Yeah, there'd be no doubt. There'd be no question. I mean, would we not air it? We had content. We
make a
filmed something. We
You want to
wouldn't
make a
air
last
it?
will and testament now? Like, go ahead and who are you gonna give all your stuff to?
Can I have your monitor?
No. God no.
Who's going to have your monitor? Fuck you. Why did you say no? I'm the one who told you
No,
to fix your
he
fucking
said
problem.
no. God no. Like that was
You
so
can
offensive.
absolutely have it, Gus.
You heard it. Gavin Free dying in a plane crash. I'm getting his monitor. Do you think that gives me incentive now to like fuck with your plane?
You probably have some tracking software. You could probably watch the plane. You're like crossing your fingers the whole time.
Like something out of a movie. Get a fucking virtual display.
But you should be really careful about saying, like, if my plane crashed and all that stuff.
Nah.
I was reading a story about a dude who, I forget what it was. He was scamming somebody online. He was like, he was thinking he was selling like ham radio stuff, like CB radio stuff, and was ripping people off. And somebody sent him a bomb in the mail. And his mom came in with a package, I guess, and said, "You got a package." And he goes, "Hope it's not a bomb." Which apparently every story I've read about a mail bomb, that's the thing the person says right before they open it is, "I hope it's not a bomb," and then it's a bomb and it blows up in their hands.
Jesus.
So don't do that. Don't say that.
But this is already out by the time I've flown.
Hope
Well,
it's not a
someone-
bomb.
Yeah, but you said it.
Yeah,
but you
but you
still
said it.
said
It
it
doesn't
before you
matter.
flew.
Right.
Gavin,
don't-
don't fucking the rabbit hole of Gavin logic. Here we go. You just said it now. You're not on a plane now. Do you recognize that? You're not in UK right now.
Yeah.
Good.
You're currently alive.
So
Gavin.
you're
I don't know if you know
superstitious.
that.
I'm not
The
superstitious.
thing, what
Don't
you're
take
saying,
a
the
chance.
guy with the bomb saying, "I hope it's not a bomb," it's probably because it looked like a bomb. I haven't seen the plane yet. I don't know.
Would you get in a plane that looked like a bomb? It's like a
giant
bomb with
fuse.
wings. You're like, I'm not sure if I'm going to
this
get
one.
on this flight.
All right, Gus, why are you angry? What happened?
Well, a lot of things.
A lot of things.
First of all, I went to lunch today.
that's the
I've
worst.
had a really busy day.
Oh.
So I was like, I'm just going to run down to Jersey Mike's. I'm just going to pick up a sandwich. I get to the door to walk into Jersey Mike's, and there's a woman walking in front of me, super slow. She's shuffling. I'm like, okay, I could like rush right around her, but I was like, I don't want to be the jerk. I'm just going to shuffle behind her. She's on the phone talking to someone. On the phone the whole time. Gets up to the counter, like, what can we get you? She's like, oh, hold on. I want 2 turkey Swisses. And then like, doesn't even wait for the acknowledgement. Just goes back to her phone call. It's like totally detached from the whole thing, making everything take really long. Like, do you want, what do you want on this? Oh, I want this. And of course the guy's like, what? Oh, okay, he's like trying to put it together. She's like, oregano. I wanted oregano. Jesus. Like, what the fuck, you stupid bitch?
Wow.
Like, this person is like making your food for you. Have the decency to interact with them.
Yeah.
Have the
You're
decency
you're in a line.
to
Just
help
get off
them.
the goddamn
get
phone.
off.
Get off the fucking phone
Yeah.
for
Can I-
5 fucking seconds. You aren't saving someone's life. You aren't doing a fucking public service. You're ordering a goddamn sandwich.
I'm generally a pretty nice person, but when I used to work at HEB, a grocery store here in Texas.
Butts.
And HE Butts. But there was one time, like I was just in a
Division of
mood.
Wars.
This woman came up through my line, and I was like, oh, like, how are you doing today? And she had a phone up, and she goes, and kept talking. Like she put her finger up and kept talking, and I was like, "All right, I'm gonna break everything you have." And so she had eggs, bread, and she wasn't paying attention to me. So like I took her eggs and like I just crushed all the bottom of the eggs, and I flattened her bread right in front of her, just right in front of her. And she was just so distracted by her phone, and it was just like, "All right, fine. If you're not gonna pay attention to me, I'm just gonna wreck all your shit." She had like,
all that eggs.
yeah, it's like all you gotta do is the hole from the bottom is push in. You can break all the bottom of the eggs.
This podcast brought to you by HEB.
Dude, but it was like.
Always not a cell phone either.
But it was one of those things where it's like, all right, fine. And it's like, okay, if that's what you're gonna do, if you're gonna be that, if you're gonna be an asshole to me, I'll be an asshole right back to you.
Gavin, what is the worst thing you've done for the pettiest thing done to you? Like what would that be? The equivalent of this.
She literally gave me the one finger, like, oh, this is more important than whatever you're doing right now.
Yeah, this face-to-face interaction doesn't count.
Yeah, exactly.
This
all right,
bullshit.
fine. All right, then there you go.
I can't think of anything like that. You
Like-
might have to give me a minute on that.
Like Gus walking behind someone for 15 seconds, like just that part of it. When he analyzes that she's slower than him and he's going to have to decide to go around her or not, his day's already ruined.
Yeah, it was over. I already hated her. And then everything else after that was just adding to it.
Oh,
I can't think of something so petty that I got upset about. Maybe somebody said something to me that just like that, like it was just like kind of like a verbal like disrespect or fuck you. I'd be like, all right, you know,
like,
but I never
do this.
crushed their eggs or anything like that.
Oh man. Yeah. But it was one of those like, all right, if she would have seen me doing that, like she could have looked over, but she was so busy on her damn phone. I was like, all right, fine. That's why I feel like an asshole anytime I go to like a restaurant or something. I have a phone out, like I'm so sorry. I always apologize. I'm like,
Yeah, I
you
don't
know,
do
I put it down, like, but
Have some fucking common
So
decency
damn
and
rude.
respect. That reminds me, the other day, or not the other day, it was a couple months ago, I was at a grocery store here in town, and I was walking out with my groceries like I had just paid, and this woman came out next to me, and she was like pushing her shopping cart. And in Austin, there's no one-time use bags. Everyone has like their reusable bags. So her shopping cart's filled with like reusable bags of groceries and stuff, and I'm walking out, and like, I'm not quite paying attention to her. He's like, it's just another random stranger I'm walking next to. And then, like, this guy comes up and, like, starts talking to her. And I'm like, oh, shit, they're fighting. It's like a couple,
Oh,
and
no.
I'm like, she's really mad at him. Like, she's, like, not looking at him, turning away. Then he's, like, saying something to her. And then she just, like, storms off. I was like, fuck, what the hell was going on? And then security comes out running after her.
oh no.
And I was like, oh, shit. She was stealing an entire shopping cart full of shit. Like, that first guy was, like, the initial, hey, what are you doing?
Yeah.
And then security's like, hauling ass, and they were like running full speed out through the parking lot.
Oh, wow.
I've never seen anything like
That's
that.
awesome.
It was fucking crazy. Like at first, my first instinct is just, oh, they're arguing, they're having a spat. And no, they're trying to take her to jail.
Something's crazy about like grocery stores in general. I saw so much weird shit happen at grocery stores. My favorite was when people would put a car and like not throw it in park and get out and leave and go into the store, and you see cars just like pulled into the middle of the road. They're just like sitting there parked, and it's like, all right. Someone shattered a window of a car one time because there was a dog inside. Like they basically like they looked around in this like they threw something through the window to get a dog out because it was the middle of
Someone else's
summer.
dog?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was the middle of summer and there was a dog. Though I don't know if the window was cracked or not, but
I think
yeah.
in Austin, you can
get
go to
arrested for
jail.
that,
Yeah,
yeah.
you can go to jail if you leave your dog
So
in a vehicle.
about 2 or 3 times a summer we'd get people like come in and basically call the cops from us.
By the way, breaking
So-
a car window, really hard to do.
Yeah.
Very, very hard to do.
Yeah?
Yeah, like throwing a rock at a car window, they're pretty flexible. It's
I could break your car window in one go. Your new Tesla.
No, I'm not. Let's not test that. Let's not test that. In fact, David and Nathan Zellner did a short called Rummy.
Yeah, I
where he
remember
has
Rummy.
to break the window, and they thought it would happen in one take, and he's throwing a rock at the window, and it takes him like 20 tries, I think, and it turns out to be one of the funniest things I've ever seen.
He's got a giant, it's at Mount, but they filmed it at Mount Benel. He's got a giant rock like this big, and it's like throwing it at the window, and it just won't break, and he just keeps picking it up.
There's a video of some news reporter trying to do a demonstration about car safety. Have you seen that? Where he's
Yeah.
like, with a crowbar, he's like, or like a tire iron or something. He's like wailing on it, and he does it over and over again because he has to deliver his line and then do it. He's like, damn it. And eventually he does it and completely cuts his entire hand. He's like bleeding out.
Oh, that's the worst. Did you really?
Yeah.
I've seen like special tools. I always thought they were dumb, but I guess it makes sense. I've seen special tools that are intended to like be kept by your car seat. So if
usually
like
just
your
a
car
spike,
goes into
I
the
think, isn't
water, it cuts the seatbelt off and then like has like a little pressurized spike to
Yeah.
break the window.
Yep.
Didn't you get one of those?
I'm
for-
getting actually. But it's funny because I was just ordered one of those. For
Why?
just for my car, just in case I need
Can we
to get
talk
out.
about your new car?
I'm sure. I mean, I guess. I mean, it's interesting to anybody.
It's pretty badass.
I'm
man.
pretty excited about it. Yeah, I bought a Tesla, and so I hate to say it because I
Model
don't want to fall
S.
Not
prey
the
to-
Roadster. You got the S.
prey to that. But it was after the whole like fire thing that I just thought, okay, it's not. It's statistically it's less than all the other cars on the road that these things catch on fire, but it still is a potentially, if it does happen, is a lithium ion fire, which is a little bit different, or whatever the batteries are.
Yeah.
So I'm getting one of those just in case.
Well, it's funny you think about that. Like, I always worry when I take my laptop on a plane. I worry about all the batteries we have in laptops and phones. I'm like, if one of these like punctured and ignited and started burning, like, what the fuck do you do in a plane?
It is pretty serious.
Yeah.
If I don't know, if that's changed. It used to be a big deal, I think, in the 90s when lithium-ion batteries first started to get big, when they started to get rid of nickel-cadmium batteries, NiCads, and it was a bigger deal. But anyway, I got one because of that. I want to talk about something though, which is about the smashing of the window to let the dog out. Did you hear about the dude on Reddit in DFW? We had a huge cold snap in Texas.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
I got the hell out of town. It was awesome.
You were talking about your honeymoon?
Yeah, sure.
So Jack went on his honeymoon to Florida. He sent a picture of a map, which was the entire U.S., blue or green, like variations of blue showing how cold it was. And Florida was like this, basically like a
Orange.
giant red dick.
I left Austin. It was 25 degrees. We left early in the morning. It was 25 degrees. We got to Orlando. It was 85 degrees. And it stayed like mid 80s to like mid 70s the whole time we were
is
there.
that just the
And then when you
constant-
come back, it's fucking nice here
Yeah,
again.
it is nice
Yeah.
again. So I missed like that 1 week of the
You're
cold
like a ray of
snap.
sunshine, Jack.
It was great.
Bring it with
Is
you.
it always
nice.
that hot there? Or is that just like a
It's
freak
actually a
thing
little
right
bit warmer than typical right now.
I
So-
grew up. My had extended family that lived in Southern Florida in Miami, and it's just hot and humid there.
Yeah.
Sounds bad.
And I lived in Houston where it's like 100% humidity.
Yeah.
So for me to call anywhere humid is amazing. People call Austin humid, and I'm like, you're insane.
No.
Austin's not humid, but it really is. It's a humid place. Yeah, generally Central Texas is. But the weather has been so crazy because we never get rain. Like, we went through a drought for like the last 2 or 3 years, it seems like. And it's been raining nonstop in
God.
Austin for like a month and a half, 2 months.
It's great.
And it's like, and then it snowed in Cairo on the pyramids.
Oh, yeah, that was weird.
That's beyond weird.
First time in over 100 years.
That's like
Snowed
something you'd
Cairo.
have to make up in a movie that snowed in Cairo.
Yeah.
And they'd snow-covered pyramids.
Yeah, like at first you kept seeing all those reports, and then I know on Reddit in particular, people were like, "Where are the pictures? We want to see pictures of snow on the pyramids." I feel like it took a little while for those to start filtering out.
But this cold snap in Dallas, they got hit pretty hard by it as well, like, below freezing temperatures. And there was a dog that was kept in like a breezeway, like an area between houses.
Yeah.
And it went missing. And then they posted on the Reddit forum for DFW, the subreddit, hey, we're missing our dog. And a guy replied and said, guess what? I took your fucking dog because it was outside and it was in a breezeway. And it became this whole thing where the guy had these other people's dog, which apparently, I don't know, it's a dog that's like a Himalayan mountain dog.
okay.
It's not it, but it's something like that. Or it's got a name that does sound like it would live in the cold, like Siberian freezing dog or something. But
Ice puppy.
But he had a whole documentation, or had a story of why he took the dog. He was out there 3 hours. He walked by there and then came back later, and it was still outside, and it was like freezing cold to the touch. And so he took their dog. And then it got on the news, and these people were all upset. It's like this back and forth story. I would love to know what your opinion of it was. The guy right to take the dog?
The thing is, you don't know what the true story is.
Right.
Like, you're just taking his account at face value. Is he telling the truth? I mean, he talked about in his story about how the dog didn't have food or water and was malnourished, but then he posted a picture of the dog, and the dog did not look malnourished.
did
the
not
dog
at all.
looked fine. So
2
it's like,
hours later.
yeah, it's like you did not undo malnourishment
Did he
in
go
an hour or
Did
two.
he go into a fence to get the dog, or was the dog?
He snapped a lock with tools.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I mean,
okay,
it's
then
like-
that's.
Well,
that's
so this guy's clearly wrong. You don't just take someone's
Yeah.
dog. Call animal services.
He said he called animal control, but they couldn't make it out there because it was freezing because of the ice on the roads.
And it was also a weekend, I believe, too, might have been part of it.
Yeah.
But so it was nuts. This story was just like, and at first it was like, I love this kind of thing because it's horrifying and interesting at the same time. It's an exercise in groupthink. The guy posted it, and everybody's like, yeah, right on, you're awesome. Then you got the picture of the couple that's missing the dog, and the lady's bawling, going, somebody has our dog, and we want our dog back. And the dog was out for an hour, came inside, was scratching to go back out because it likes to be out in the cold, so we let it back out. We felt bad about it. And like they showed the orthopedic mattress they bought for this dog, like $250 orthopedic mattress.
Yeah, they also posted a crazy reward. It was like $2,000 for information about the dog.
Right.
If you're gonna abuse a dog and leave it out in the cold in the crate, are you really gonna put a $2,000
Yeah,
reward
yeah.
out on it? I mean, things don't quite match up. Like at first you're like, yeah, good for that guy saving the dog. And like, wait,
But
there's
then
another
the group-
side to the story.
Then the group thing starts swinging back, and it's like the lady's crying on the news, and there was like, that guy should go to jail. You know, oh, he cut the lock. You know,
So,
and it's like,
did they get the dog back?
I actually don't know the end of the story. Yeah. So somebody stole a dog, somebody lost a dog, and then I stopped caring. That's usually the way it works for anything I find on the internet. You know.
I like I said, it sounds like a great story first pass, but I mean, you really have to think about the other side as well.
Yeah.
Dog stolen in DFW.
Yeah,
You
to
gonna
me,
look it up?
once you break
look it
that
up.
lock, that's where you cross the line. It's
Yeah,
like
but
clearly-
I mean, that goes with breaking the window.
Or I mean, you could also
yeah.
you also
breaking
say,
the-
look, what if the
yeah,
dog
I guess
was
so.
chained to a tree and had a lock around
Yeah.
its collar? You know,
A dog stolen from a Fort Worth couple's home during the ice storm. God damn it, pop-up ad. Set off a firestorm of controversy on the internet is back home. Heidi's owners, the Gupton family, were reunited with their dog Thursday night. The ordeal started Friday when someone broke the lock on their dog run while they weren't home. The couple and friends posted flyers, yak, yak, yak.
so they
Fort
weren't
Worth
home.
police are investigating. A person who claimed that he took Heidi called Fox 4 News Wednesday night, but refused to give his name or go on camera, and even blocked his phone number. He said he was concerned for the dog's safety in the cold. He always meant to return Heidi to the owners. I don't believe
No,
that. I
no.
read the initial
Yeah,
post.
not
It
at
did
all.
not say. He called himself her new daddy. It was like some weird stuff in there.
Yeah.
But,
Jesus.
you know, dog's back in the right place, so hopefully everything's okay. You
Yeah.
know.
Sounds
Dogs,
like a
man.
damn lunatic.
I had friends in college. I'm nervous saying this out loud. I had
You
friends,
knew a guy who had friends in college.
I knew a guy. I once met somebody at a party who is now dead and knew people. No, I had friends in college who kidnapped Texas A&M's mascot, which is a border collie.
Yeah.
Wow, they got Reveille?
They were the guys who got Reveille the first time.
Jesus.
Like, there's a group of cadets at Texas A&M called the Corps, but they're not actually ROTC. They're like an offshoot of it. I'm not sure how the distinction, but one of their duties is to guard the mascot for A&M, which is their mascot for the school is not really a dog, but they have this dog that it goes everywhere. It goes to class. If it barks in class, one of the traditions is everybody gets to go home. The class is dismissed. And they always made a big deal about the fact that the dog it was the only college mascot that had never been kidnapped.
No.
And my buddies were like, well, then we'll just kidnap it. And they totally did it. They kidnapped the dog. And when they got the dog, it's like normal college prank. We kidnapped the dog. Nope. A&M was like, that dog is X amount of value. We're pressing felony charges against whoever has this thing. They were freaked the fuck out.
What were they going to do with the dog afterwards? What did they plan on doing?
you
with
keep it till like after a football game, then you return it.
Then you
Yeah.
return it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you take photos with it,
Yeah,
or
you
not
like-
with it, but you take of it.
If
and-
it's the early
yeah.
1900s, they would kidnap Bevo and then eat it. They did. They ate our mascot. The mascot for
He's a
UT.
cow. He's the long
Yeah, Bevo's the longhorn. Yeah, it's a cat.
I had no idea what animal
He's
that
a
was.
guy.
You didn't know what Bevo was?
No.
You know the
You know
Longhorns
Bevo?
were a cow?
I don't know what.
The mascot
You-
for
you-
Texas is
like,
the Longhorn.
You didn't know who Bevo was?
No.
Living in Austin. I realize our audience won't know. Bevo is the name of the University of Texas mascot. It's a longhorn. And there's if you ever see it at the football games, it's drugged.
He's drugged out of his mind.
I mean,
What, just a doped up cow?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it just sits there, is like looks around.
No, it's
Think about
it's a
it.
Longhorn though. It's got the giant fucking
Why
horns.
are they doing stuff with animals?
What's
in fact, the name of our
What's the point?
mascot.
What's that got to do with sport?
The name of our mascot is Bevo because somebody kidnapped it and burned into the side of it 13-0, which was the score of the last game.
That was Texas A&M did it.
Yeah, Texas A&M did it. And the solution for them burning the cow, burning the score into its side, is we'd fix it by burning more letters and misspelling
Fixing
So,
it.
Bevo.
so the 13, the 1-3 became a B, and then the dash became an E, and they
So
just
this
put a little
poor cow
V in between the zero.
Got burned again to fix the first
Well,
burn.
cows get branded all the
Highly
time.
branded.
It was the whole
Yeah.
side
Yeah.
of the cow.
Yeah.
It was
There,
huge.
there's-
there it is.
Yeah, if
Yeah,
you're
so
watching, there's Bevo.
There's Bevo.
That doesn't look cruel.
You know, most Bevos, like up until the very, like maybe like 2 ago, like in the 90s, like most of the Bevos ended their run as our mascot by being eaten.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, they were served up
We're up to,
like at games.
We're like Bevo 13 or 14 now, right?
Yeah.
I think they
13
just
or
retired
14.
this Bevo.
It's so weird.
Yeah.
Why
Think about it.
Weird?
Like you like the Hotspurs, right? What if
Yeah.
after a good game you could eat like everyone in the stadium gets chicken? Right, same thing.
Wait, what's weird? The way of an animal mascot?
Yeah, it's cruel.
You've
Why
got
is that
chicken.
cool? That,
We don't have a real chicken, we have a
willing to bet
dude in a
that-
suit.
That Longhorn is probably eating better than you right now.
A
and
dude's a
probably
real
living
animal.
better than you.
that dude's an animal.
That dude's drugged up, out of his mind, man.
But the like in some of the college stadiums, like there's the Colorado University of Colorado,
buffalo.
they have a freaking buffalo that they run out on the field.
Yeah. And in Baylor and Waco, they have a bear. They actually have
Bullshit.
like
They have a real bear?
They have bears on campus.
So is it
he doesn't
true-
come out during the game, so they have them on campus.
Oh, I
there was a
never saw
mauling.
it. I
We
never
talk
saw
about
that.
it.
in the Ace Ventura movie, do they really have a dolphin in real life?
I don't know if the Miami Dolphins actually have a
Snowflake.
dolphin.
I don't
They
think-
might.
I've never seen the dolphin. No, I've never
I
seen
doubt
that.
it.
But
I don't think they would get. I don't know. I don't.
I want to say the Eagles have an eagle that comes out. Like they actually have a guy who like flies an eagle around on the field.
It would be awesome if like the Eagles started up at the top of the lights,
Yeah.
and then came down and dive bombed with a snowball with a 9-volt battery in it at the opposing team. They do that. Philly fans do that. They'll put batteries in snowballs and throw them
What, 'cause
at
they're
the
electric?
opposing team. No, just because to put like weight in
They're
it.
assholes.
Oh, I thought they were trying to power these
Colorado
snowballs.
fans do that too.
Do they?
Yeah, the Buffalo fans. Those guys are crazy.
With food and care for the Longhorn costing University 50 cents a day, and nostalgic pangs of school spirit still taking a backseat to a good meal, the original mascot was slaughtered and served at the team's banquet in the winter of 1920, where the freshly defeated A&M players were even invited to chow down.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah, a lot of BOs ended their run as barbecue. I mean, look, it's like, why is this cow different than this cow? It's like, just because this one is a
You
mascot?
fully utilize the cow.
You make
you
a
go.
cow,
You,
like,
you get your good run of it as the mascot, then you enjoy it.
I
Delicious.
guess you don't want to waste it.
shit happens.
So we're totally not going to talk about Mac Brown leaving Texas, right? We haven't talked about football coaching changes in forever.
We're
so.
close with this mascot thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, my buddies, they had reveille, and they were
yeah,
like,
what happened with
they
this?
were hunted. They were scared shitless.
That's dangerous though, because if I had stolen a dog and all of a sudden it was everyone's trying to find the dog, I would probably quickly bury it, like kill it and bury it.
They,
Well, how would you give it back without being caught?
they
Kill
had to
it?
go to the lake.
I don't know,
and
I'd panic.
They tied her to a tree. They put her leash. They tied her leash to a tree, and they called a radio station, a sports radio station, because it was a huge story on all sports stuff. And they said, the dog's out there. Please go get the dog because she's tied to a tree in the shade and she's fine. I can't forget what time of year it was, but it was totally fine to do this. And then they had to, because they were so concerned, they stayed close. I mean, they weren't trying to hurt the dog.
Right.
But then this very traditional college prank to steal a mascot. That's totally normal. It is. It's totally
Yeah,
normal.
no, that's the thing.
Yeah. And then, but it turned into this huge thing. And I think A&M was huge pussies about it, especially because they bragged about their mascot was the only college mascot.
You're gonna put it out
stolen.
there. You're essentially issuing the challenge.
Yeah.
But how did they get the dog away from the core? Like doesn't the dog sleep in a room with?
I can tell you the whole story. So the kid, there's one person who is assigned as the caretaker for the
they
dog.
kill and eat that guy?
No, no. Unfortunately, this is a real human impact of this story. Is that dude was basically run out of school?
Jesus.
Yeah, I mean he was basically because he was in the Corps and he had a very prestigious position, and so I know just he wasn't there after a
He was
little
probably
while.
better off not being an A&M anyways.
Well, I guess so after that happened, and it's like then the dog got stolen on his watch, and it had never been stolen before, and so yeah, he was, as far as I remember, if I recall correctly, he was not there very shortly thereafter.
So how'd they get the dog out of this guy's place?
They just went, they opened the back gate, and they went, "Come here, girl," and she just walked up, and then they just
Wow.
walked away with her.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah,
man.
and I think that was part of it too. Is that they didn't steal it from the school; they stole it from a. I shouldn't say the word stolen. They
borrowed
They
it.
pranked her away from a personal residence, and that
Okay.
was part of it as well. And they were going to press charges and all this stuff.
How much? Do you remember how much did they say Reveille was worth?
God, I don't
What was it,
remember.
Collie? What, like $200?
I think they just said it was more if the theft is over a certain value. I want to say it was like 10 grand, and they valued the dog at higher than 10 grand without actually putting a price tag on the dog.
So this person, their friends got away scot-free?
I don't know anybody. I don't know what you're talking about.
That's a great story.
God, when I look up Reveille and I look up kidnap in Wikipedia, Reveille doesn't come up.
There's a core member who sits there and edits the Wikipedia page every day.
Yeah, she's just a little border collie. Reveille kidnapped.
Yeah, but so they used to have, Gavin, this is how extreme it gets. Reveille, they have multiple Reveilles because dogs die over time, and they have a graveyard for Reveille outside of the stadium. And they had it before where the graveyard, from the graveyard, you could see the scoreboard inside the stadium. When they redid the stadium, they added on to it. They built a wall that covered the view of the scoreboard. So they built another scoreboard outside of the stadium, so you can see a scoreboard from the graveyard for these dogs. That's how extreme sports mascots are.
I didn't know that. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of
They also added a whole bunch of national championships and collegiate championships or conference championships that they won that they didn't actually win. Like they had a board listing all the years they won stuff, and they just put stuff in there they didn't actually win.
Really?
Holy shit.
Yeah.
It's going to be the 20th anniversary of this because it's December 31st, 1993.
Oh wow!
Reveille 6, a 4-month-old collie, disappeared from the yard of her handler's North Dallas home early Sunday. Another dog stolen in Dallas
was in
on a
Dallas,
cold
wasn't even-
cold December morning.
I'm Reveille's daddy now.
Yeah, just days before the Aggies Cotton Bowl appearance. At the time, the handler said the missing puppy was the sister of the new mascot. Oh, they were trying to hide it, I guess. But on Thursday, university officials confirmed that Reveille 6 had vanished. The theft of the puppy, who replaced the retiring Reveille 5, is a stab at the very heart of Aggie traditions. I've never seen a tradition so strong as Reveille, said somebody who goes to A&M. She's the highest-ranking member of the Corps of Cadets. That's dumb.
That's sad.
no
I mean, do
offense.
the cadets have to salute the dog?
I think
Yeah.
they might have to. I think they might have to.
You just stand in attention for the dog.
Yeah, A&M,
hell?
by the way, was A&M was Texas's like primary rival, Texas and Texas A&M. But then A&M left to go to
SEC.
SEC.
Yeah, it was arguable because the college we all went to, University of Texas.
You guys went to.
Yeah, you didn't go, right? You went to Rice. It's either University of Oklahoma or Texas A&M was our biggest rival.
No, it'll be Texas A&M.
Arguably, you think it's Texas A&M?
Yeah.
They were our in-state, like
Yeah.
90 miles away rival.
Storied history, Texas A&M. As far as actual competition, Oklahoma.
Yeah,
So,
So there's a bunch of dead dogs in the stadium.
yeah,
yeah.
the stadium. 6 or 7.
yeah.
I wonder if you could steal all the bones and make a super dog.
It does make you wonder if they
How would you make a super dog
Be a
out of the
super dead
skeletons
dog.
of dogs?
I don't know, it'd be like 6 times the size of a regular dog. wouldn't it? You got, you take a leg, you make it 6 times longer.
What do you do with like 6 rib cages? So you have like a really long leg with a normal sized dog body?
Bundle them together into a big rib cage. I don't see how's this difficult.
Essentially, you just end up with a skeleton of a dog with a really long leg.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
To you and your dogs.
So you don't have any like crazy mascot stories back in Europe? Like,
I don't know
They
if
had wars over that.
I know,
shit.
right?
yeah.
They would like steal like
A rose.
princesses and stuff like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
then
well, I
launch
mean,
ships
like,
to go get them.
like hooliganism over there is crazy. Like they have
Yeah.
like mobs after
But-
soccer games. and
Yeah, I
stuff.
mean, people get trampled to death and stuff, but there's never animals involved.
Yeah, but animals. That's,
Oh, in
that's
that
where you
case.
draw the line. People die all the time.
What's worse, cruelty to humans or cruelty to animals?
Cruelty to humans. Honestly, cruelty to humans.
Yeah.
I
Well,
mean,
two
of
humans
course.
beating the crap out of each other is worse than a human punching a dog to death.
Well, I mean, like,
the
it's
dog's
one of-
worse.
Yeah, cruelty to humans is worse. I get it. I don't know why people are like animals are defenseless and all that stuff. If you give the animals a choice of like, if you put all the animals in a circle and you said, "Hey, what do you guys think about making the lions extinct?" They go, "Fuck, go for it." I mean, they wouldn't give a shit.
Yeah.
That's a
Did,
human
did
thing.
you, did you see that video of that cat attacking that woman in Michigan?
So fucking awesome.
Wait, what?
So that is incredible.
It was
it's a
this-
fucking tatty cat.
It's
that
this like
takes down
house
a
cat,
woman.
and this woman says it was like bothering her dog. So she's like out in the front of her house, and she's like kind of kicking snow
Oh,
at it to try to
no.
get it out of the way. She like turns around. There's no audio, so you don't know
Yeah.
what happens. She's like walking away from it. You can pipe it out there if you want, Burnie.
How do I do that?
I think I can do it.
Here, Jack can do it. So she goes to turn away from it,
You want me to send it to you,
and
Jack? It's just
then she like turns around to look at it again,
Cat attacks woman.
and she like kind of steps towards it. And then the next thing you know, the cat is like from Aliens. The cat is on her face, and she's on the ground. Like it has like jumped up on her face, pulled her to the ground, and then she like is stumbling around. Then she gets up, and the cat's like latched onto her arm, and
Oh
she's
my
just like
God.
trying to peel it off, and then like throws it, and it lands on its feet with like its tail up, like in a defensive position. It's like out of a kung fu movie.
fucking badass.
That's awesome.
Like I hadn't watched wrestling in a couple years, and I went back and watched it, and people were doing moves where like they grab somebody by the waist and then flip all around the person and then lock onto their neck and then
Yeah.
do like a leg whip.
Like a-
That's what the cat did. It was so fucking incredible. This cat takes down a full-grown woman.
That's amazing.
I can
Did you
fight a
ever-
cat.
I'm not on Wi-Fi.
Did you ever see that video of it's some security footage? There's a cat on a wall, and a woman just walks by and just picks up the cat and puts it in a bin.
Puts in a garbage bin. That's in the UK.
and then walks off.
Yeah. That she's a lunatic.
Lunatic. Who
That's
the
a-
hell would do that
that's
to
a
a poor
lunatic.
cat? It wouldn't do anything.
No.
That's
And, and this
mean.
woman, people were like groupthink again. They were saying this woman attacked the cat. She got what she deserved. All I care is the cat fucking got a woman.
We have the video there on the ingestion. I don't know if we can show you.
Oh, there's the cat
kicking.
getting a little face full of
So
snow.
she's
Take
kicking
that,
it.
take that cat.
So this is a video.
is
this
she
is a cell
naked?
phone video of a normal
Oh,
video.
that's the first little feint.
Oh, oh my god! Holy, that cat leapt onto her face.
Oh my!
Cat's
Did
She
she
like,
throw it. Look, he's going after it. Like, fuck you. step
So
off.
this makes me think about when you said you could fight a tiger. A house cat almost killed that woman.
That woman's
a house cat.
That woman's in a pink juicy suit, dude.
used
I
its-
could totally.
it
Look at that
uses, like,
cat. The cat's just sitting there staring at her. Like,
It's like Mad Dog.
yeah,
in her.
go ahead. Walk. Just walk.
It was like a champion of momentum. It like latched on and swung its whole body.
swing that did it. The woman
Lord.
went down like a ton of bricks.
The cat couldn't have weighed more than 8 or 9 pounds,
yeah.
right?
And the way it landed, it was just like nothing happened.
Yeah.
I told, it was like ready to keep going. It's like something out of a fucking kung fu movie.
I know. I don't know.
awesome.
Listen, I've been bitten by a cat, and then I've been bitten by a cat. That's two totally different
Yeah.
things.
Like a playful bite versus a angry cat bite.
Yeah, you know when you actually get bitten by a cat, it's like, holy cow, that thing took a
Yeah,
chunk
this
out of me.
I didn't show the pictures, but they showed like she had to go to the hospital because she got like severe infections from the bites because cats are filthy animals,
filthy.
and her face was just all swollen. She had all these like puncture marks on her forehead.
Oh, you know, it's one of the only things worse than a cat to get bit by? The person.
Baby.
Yeah.
You get bit by a person, you're
Well, a human bite is way stronger than any cat or dog, isn't it?
pretty fucked.
And
Yeah.
a horse.
It's dirty.
Wait. What do you mean stronger?
Like jaw force.
No.
Yeah.
No. I would say a dog would probably be stronger than a
You know,
a
you
human.
could bite
think it's the-
off one of your fingers without thinking about it if your body would let you do it.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Like a
There
carrot.
was that Jack Reacher, the Tom Cruise movie. There was a guy who did that. It was like the big boss in that movie. He like bit off his own fingers for
Yeah,
some
but
reason.
a dog would bite you, but it would probably have to like shake, like the alignment of our teeth and the force of the jaw. I think you could.
Oh,
just,
they
like,
rely on
snap
the
off it.
shredding from the
Yeah.
turning their heads.
Yeah, we can just be like,
It's not
happen
something
in Mars
common.
attacks.
It's not something you commonly think about it, but like if you were like in a war and you're tussling with somebody hand to hand combat, the way you would fight when there's no rules just for survival, that would be a fucking brutal fight.
Oh, yeah.
But even in war, there's rules, right? Like,
No,
Not when you're, like,
when you're
hand to
about to
hand.
be killed.
But
There's
what's all
not.
that Geneva stuff about though?
That's like
that's-
you,
that's
don't
totally
bust
different.
out the Geneva Convention.
If you are looking at a guy who's like looking to kill you,
I'm
and
talking
this-
saving
I
Private
would-
Yeah,
Ryan.
that's exactly what I was thinking of. Like,
Yeah.
no, wait, you know.
Yeah, he's like shh.
Yeah.
Shh. Oh, it's a creepy.
No,
fucking
you mean
scene.
you go straight for someone's eyes, right?
Go
or-
for
yeah,
crotch
or
and
like-
eyes.
Or their balls. Jesus Christ, just fucking.
A guy without balls.
I
can
would get
still
a medal from the U.S. government for kicking so many balls. Like that would be my go-to move.
It's got to be a big reason why they shave
It's
soldiers'
a golden
heads.
nutsack.
Yeah, the golden nutsack.
Yeah, so
I'm
you
sure so you
can't
don't have something to
grab.
grab onto.
Yeah, you would absolutely grab hold of somebody's hair or rip their ear off or bite their throat, you know? Like dudes in MMA where they're wrestling like this, they just bite somebody's neck. You know, you'd never go into those like arm bar
pull someone's
shit.
artery out.
Yeah, absolutely.
Pull out the jugular with your teeth.
Yeah.
And then go, "Ah."
That's one of the bits in Catching Fire. One of the tributes is like shaved her teeth into fangs.
Yeah.
Which I'm like, yeah, okay. But, you know, it's kind of cool. But when are you going to get close enough to like bite somebody with your precious fangs?
It's intimidating.
It's intimidating, right?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you get in an MMA match. Do
Yeah.
people ever do that? Does anyone actually ever do that for intimidation? Like some weirdo? Do people
there's-
actually file their teeth?
I think there's a guy who filed down his canines like really sharp.
Oh, man, I should show this
I forget his name, but yeah.
on it.
Yeah, some of those MMA guys are crazy.
One of the guys that's on its sponsors. I'll see if I can pull it up. He has an MMA like he has the mouthpiece, but he's like drawn big buck teeth on it. It's the most like.
Well, so he's just like,
Oh, yeah.
Well, here, let me. It's a good segue. Let me read the on it read here, and while I
Oh,
look that
wow.
up.
That's a
They
coincidence.
are a sponsor today. This episode of the Rooster Teeth Podcast is brought to you by longtime sponsor. Love their stuff.
Speaking of local stuff, the new Mac Pros just launched. The trash bin.
That's one of the other things I have in my hate
you
list.
fucking
You're gonna
walked into
bring
it.
me back to the fucking hate.
they're
walked
being
into it,
made
dude,
here
you
in
have
Austin.
no idea what you just walked
They're
into.
being made
So-
right here in Austin.
They launched the Mac Pro.
Yeah.
They made their target. They started promoting this in June.
Yeah.
They're gonna launch it in December. They launched it. You're not gonna get it until February.
Really?
Really?
Yeah.
He was livid.
I
about
was like,
this. He
what
was
the
walking-
fuck does that mean?
so all they've done is given you the button to buy it, but really nothing's changed.
Right?
They
Yeah. You
always-
don't get shit.
Wow.
You can customize it now. You can see the actual price. That's another thing I hate.
Uh-oh.
You've just fucking hit the hot button. So,
Merry Christmas,
these
everybody.
are being made in Austin,
Yeah.
which
Northwest
gives a fuck?
Austin, yeah.
it's a big
Probably
deal.
the
though.
people making them give
Yeah.
a little bit
It's
of
a
a
big
fuck.
deal. It's
It's
like
being
the
made in
first
America.
Mac
That's pretty
made-
cool.
why do we don't
Jobs.
America doesn't.
It's not being made in-
America is not known as a manufacturing.
What does it
nation
mean
anymore.
to make a
Do
computer?
they have
by
suicide
the
nets
way?
at that building? Like, I'm sure it's like pretty good conditions there, right?
It's
That's
great
good.
conditions in China too.
Like, except
People
for the
fight for those
suicide
fucking
nets.
jobs. They fucking stand in line for days to get those jobs. You know, we have
Whatever,
a tiny
hippie.
factory here to build these Mac Pros.
Okay.
We can't build enough of them. We can't get them until February. I guarantee you, if Foxconn was making these fucking things, there'd be one on my desk right now.
Well, they're working up
You
to
have a note
probably...
in it saying "Help me."
That video on the desktop.
Also, like that's another thing I'm mad about.
Oh no.
So people are bitching about how much these things cost.
Finger.
Right.
That's the price of manufacturing in America.
Yeah.
You manufacture it here, of course it's gonna fucking cost more.
Dude.
Like all I see is comments are like, "Why the fuck is this so expensive? I could buy a PC for way cheaper." Do you want? I mean,
Well, the Mac
there's no
Pro-
winning this.
The Mac Pro is always expensive.
It's really fucking expensive now.
Is it
It's
more
like-
expensive?
It's,
Yeah,
it's like
it's like an extra
$29.99
grand.
base now. Like before, I think it was like maybe
But
2,000.
it looks
base.
like a tiny little
It's
bin.
cool. I like it. I wish I had one.
Not a fan.
Are you
I
getting
don't
one?
like that new design.
No, my computer's not due for a refresh yet, so
Is
I'm gonna
mine?
keep using it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're on the list.
You're-
You would have one today.
Hey,
We put in an order for you.
Hey, that's
And-
awesome.
You'll
You're-
get it in
yeah,
February.
you're first in the Achievement Hunter office, you bastard.
I'll need it for when I'm editing 4K Phantom stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it's just a fucking debacle. I can't
sucks.
believe. And okay, this is a fucking gateway for even more
Let's
hate.
do it.
Fucking Apple, man,
Fucking yeah.
can't get their shit together. So ever since I upgraded to Mavericks, my mail application
Mavericks?
has been shit.
Really?
It just does not work.
why
It
did
was
you
the
using-
same with the last
No,
upgrade.
it's
gone
worse
down
now.
and down and down
So
every time.
Mavericks came out, pile of shit, does not work at all.
Why are you using Mavericks? Use the web-based thing we use.
Shut up.
That's-
So
That's what I used.
So,
Why
oh,
would you-
great, good for you. I'm talking about me. I'm talking about me.
Why use everything
So
local?
then
Use it
the
all
mail
in the
application
cloud.
is so bad. It's still cloud-based, fucker.
Jack, how dare you? He had to walk slow behind somebody.
So then the mail application was so bad that before they released the 10.9.1 update, they had an update just to fix mail.
Wow.
Didn't fix it.
So there's nothing worse when you have a problem and there's a fix for it, and then it doesn't fix your thing.
So then they finally released 10.9.1, which has another mail fix. It made it even worse than it was before.
So what's-
now when I check mail on my desktop, it doesn't mark mail as read. So
that's
on my
weird.
phone, my mail is still unread, and the web browser, it's still unread. So like I'll go through my desktop, read everything, reply to everything, then look in the web browser, and it's still all unread. And then I look back at my desktop, and everything's marked as unread again because it's refreshed and gotten status from the web client. Like what the? It's absolutely worthless.
So
Use the
your
web
mail,
client.
I am now because
Okay.
they fucking broke it.
so your mail app is telling all your other devices that you haven't read email that you've read.
Right. And then I haven't replied to it. That's why I had to reconfirm you're showing
Okay.
up today because I didn't know if I emailed you because the fucking thing doesn't tell me. A total pile of shit. And mail in iOS 7 just as bad. I'll read a message, back out, and it says it's unread. So then I have to go in and read it again.
Yeah.
What was
it's
the-
sometimes, it takes some time sometimes before it'll trip over.
Bullshit.
What was the
Where the
OS?
fuck is Steve Jobs when you need him? You think this shit would fly if Steve Jobs was in charge? He would literally have heads on pikes in fucking Cupertino over this shit.
That is true.
He would be kicking over some shit.
No, I have a friend who works at Apple, and she basically says like now that Steve's gone, like people are just much more lax about that stuff. They just don't care as much anymore. And when he was there, like he would rain
They
down
are in a
fire on
they are in a
people.
bitter war with Android over the mobile platform.
Yeah.
And they are fucking it up.
Yeah.
They have fucked it. I said it.
And you see him sink back in his seat.
You know,
like
Gavin
done.
gave me
Sink.
shit because when the new iOS for the iPhone came out, I didn't upgrade for like 2 weeks, and he kept telling me to do it. I just don't. I've learned not to do that anymore. Like I have not upgraded to this new OS update.
Don't.
At all for my MacBook Air. My mail's fine. Watch, I'm gonna mark something red.
See, the reason I upgrade is I'm always our test case for upgrading other machines in the office.
Yeah.
Because if there's problems, I normally can work around them.
Test
Not
fail.
this one.
I upgraded mine, and my web client works fine.
Isn't that the worst response to any tech support problem you're ever having? Which people going, it works for me. It's like, you just want to pull like a house cat maneuver, like grab by the
Just,
neck. And,
just redo your entire workflow to work like this. I've only been doing it this way for like 10 fucking years. Let me redo everything.
yeah,
work
mail's a
on-
personal thing the way you handle it. Like
Yeah.
I watch
Like,
other people.
I receive such a volume of mail, like everything's so customized. I need everything to be handled a particular way. Otherwise, I'm lost.
But see, the thing for me is like, if it's all web based,
You're also terrible at replying to mail.
I'm gonna reply to you today, like immediately.
Yeah, but you didn't reply to the first message I sent.
Did you send a first message?
Yeah.
Are you
on
sure?
Monday. I looked.
Did I reply?
Yeah, you did.
Or so it
Hey!
said.
I didn't think that wasn't a confirmation email. It was just a list. I assumed that was okay. I didn't realize you needed a confirmation to a list. But like, I think about web-based stuff is like, no matter where I am, I can pop onto a computer and get exactly the same thing.
I use
the
that too.
future.
But so, like, for
I
yours-
use that as a utility. Like when I'm away from my computer, that's great. I can work with that. But when I'm like at my work machine, like where I need the most efficiency, the ability to get through things as quickly as possible, I have a very particular workflow that I need to adhere to. Like the web browser is fine. I can work around with that. It works. But ultimate efficiency, I need that application. I need all of my hotkeys. I don't want to fucking click on send. I want Apple Shift D, dude. Apple Shift D. Like I have all the hotkeys memorized. I don't want to fucking touch my mouse.
I get that.
I'm crazy about email. I get so much mail.
Like ripping off shift keys. No, I understand that. Like, I mean, like we've been asking for Final Cut Pro 7, like, because we don't want to upgrade to anything else because we've been using the same thing so long now. Where it's like if they would just make a Final Cut Pro 7 work in 64-bit instead of the 32-bit that doesn't take advantage of the full processor and everything. God, like I would help pay for those.
They
guys.
released a Final Cut Pro 10 upgrade.
Did they?
To accommodate the new Mac Pros and boost performance.
This is a broad topic of conversation.
Yeah, no kidding.
It's hating Apple. Everyone
Let's
loves
go back
that,
to
right?
the college coach again.
Yeah, Apple do suck in a lot of ways. It's a
terrible.
shame their products are so cool.
What's to me when I watch anyone else with the email, like I went to Hullum's office. He has an inbox. His inbox has 38,000 emails in it.
Jesus.
He leaves everything. There's no such thing as any other mailbox besides his inbox. He just processes everything there. I looked at that and I hated him. I actually made me hate Matt. I was like, how can you possibly do this? Do you guys do that same thing?
I go through about once a month and try to clear it out.
Oh,
but that happens to me.
I don't think I've ever deleted an email in my life.
No, but organizational.
Yeah.
I just move everything to other folders. Like
No, it's just a gigantic inbox.
It's a huge list.
My Slow-Mo guy's Gmail account is full.
It's got, 2 gigs of mail storage?
Way
30.
more.
30 gigs?
I filled
Jesus.
it.
My Rooster Teeth mail, which and we recently migrated. When we migrated to this new system, I purged a lot of mail. I'm at 10 gigs.
Fuck.
It's that. This is why I need a mail application.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, look at my folders. Like you're talking about organization.
Jesus.
See, that's too many though.
Yeah, that's his
That's the world I live in.
Here's what I do. Everything's in the same inbox. Spotlight.
Yeah, you just look up. You're saying search. You search for your stuff.
You just type it.
But I still need an inbox and an inbox to me is like a to-do list.
Oh,
and I keep stuff in my inbox, and then as I need, as I process something, I move it out into the all mail folder.
Yeah. But yeah, I can understand. I mean, you've been using that email address for over a decade now, so I imagine it's pretty
very,
full.
very passionate about it. And I have so many rules and things moving to folders, and it's a very
you
delicate.
have rules about the way that you interact.
Do you not worry that
communication?
Well, he probably means custom rules, where it's if ever email received with this subject line, move to this folder.
That didn't make it better, Jack.
No,
I'm never worried though.
Yeah, he didn't mean rules. He meant computer rules. That's less nerdy.
The universe is really big, right?
Yeah.
So there's all this stuff.
It's really big.
Relatively.
There's all this stuff. There's all these galaxies, and then we're one tiny little planet.
Or we're one
And
huge
then
one on a
Pale
relative
blue dot.
scale. To
You're
things
only
that are small.
around for a tiny little speck of time.
Maybe you.
And Gus, you're worrying about email organization.
I'm worried
do
about
you ever think
maximizing my time in this world. And then how about that, fucker?
I mean, there are better things to worry about.
Okay, I just want to reply to email. Fuck it. Sorry, everyone.
It's funny because I had that conversation. I was in a lawyer's office, and we were looking at a contract, and we were having seriously a 5 to 10 minute conversation about whether when you say they'll pay the amount in full, whether it was clearer to say pay the amount in full or pay in full the amount, because the full would modify paid, so it's the amount's going to be full. It's clearer to say paid in full the amount. It's like, what the fuck is this? How did human beings get to this level? It's like 5 graduate level educated people, and we're all sitting in there going, yeah. And it's like a real debate. It's like, God, the cavemen who were fucking fighting saber-toothed tigers think, I hope one day he'll be sitting in a fucking conference room with a big ass long table, and they'll be discussing about.
It does disturb me though.
I hope people are one day sitting in a room not having to fight a saber-toothed tiger.
Pretty much.
But I kind of sometimes just want an eject button on the situation that I'm in, where it would eject me out. I'd go through the ceiling. My phone and all technology would just fly away from me, and I'd just land in a field and just hang out. And it'd be like a little reset.
Hang out.
It'd be like a little reset on the situation. It's like, yeah, that wasn't important. I'm going to go and do something else.
In the middle of a field.
Yeah.
What do you want to tell me? Would it take you somewhere?
No, just just be one with nature for a little bit. And then when you come back, you'll be a refreshed person. It'll be like, well, that stuff we were on about, let's not worry about
You
it.
strike me as the least nature person ever. If you were trapped on a field somewhere, I can't imagine you enjoying yourself.
Yeah, I was like, Gavin, hey, let's go camping.
Yeah.
Do you want to go camping?
I can't imagine Gavin be like, yeah, let's go camping outdoors.
I like camping. I used to go for random hikes all the time in England. I'm going to do it here. I'll burn to death.
Ashley does something she calls glamping.
Oh, like glamorous camping.
Glamorous camping. I think that's what she calls it.
What is that?
I've heard of glamping.
I thought glamping. Now that I say it out loud, I thought glamping was the thing they do at cons where they.
That's glomping.
Oh, glomping, right?
Come on, totally different.
Where they just like
But whatever you do, don't ever glump.
they basically like grope people is what that is. Is that what glomping is?
Yeah,
right?
it's a jump hug.
Jump hug. Okay. All right. But glamping is glamorous camping. So it's like
Glamping almost sounds as lame as a front.
Glamorous. What is?
It's like they take like very like air mattresses and
okay.
like they take a lot of technology with them to make the experience
Okay.
easier.
Well,
Right.
don't be outside. Then.
Right, that's what I say.
Yeah.
yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna I'm gonna move on to something else I hate.
Okay, go ahead.
Is it theme parks?
So I'm sick of Facebook.
I agree with you.
There are
Do I have to be here for this?
there are people
This is
Can I
awesome.
just go?
who
The
there
Gus
are
show, I
people
love
who
it.
only have one kind of update. Like there's this one dude in my timeline I know only gonna post about Taekwondo. Every post.
Taekwondo.
We all know who that is.
Another person.
Yeah.
No,
We all
it's
know.
not the person you think it is.
Oh, okay.
I have another person who only posts stuff they're selling. Like they use it like their personal Craigslist. I have another guy I went to high school with who's a realtor, only posts real estate news. It's like, has this become your life? Like this is my experience of you, of these people. It's like you are the garage sailor, you are the realtor, and you're the Taekwondo guy. It's like that's the image you're projecting.
Yeah.
It's so fucking one-sided and one-dimensional. I don't want to see that shit. I'm done. I'm fucking done.
What
I'm
have you
gonna
gone,
fucking delete my Facebook account.
have you
I'm so
gone, have
fucking
you gone
over it.
beyond the like married and baby photos?
I'm so sick of that. Unbaby
Yeah.
me.
On baby me.
What? Just hide all from user. You're done. Hide all from user.
Or
need
just
to.
remove friend.
Or just remove friend
Yeah.
if you got balls like Gavin does, apparently. I don't have that. On Twitter, I have a whole app that lets me mute people that I follow.
Yeah.
It's like, boop. It's like,
Oh. And crazy political view person.
Oh yeah,
No,
you
let me-
love
let-
that guy.
Crazy political
It's
view.
usually, it's usually like an uncle or
It's
something.
my old English teacher from middle school.
Ah.
I am so sick.
Can you imagine trying to describe your mute function to a caveman and try and make that make sense? It's like, okay, so this feature, what it does is with this device, it lets me see what they do on that device,
Right.
but then I don't want to let them know that I don't want to see the stuff on that they're typing on the device.
Yes.
So it lets me not see it, even though he thinks that I'm seeing it.
Right.
And the caveman would probably just club you to
he
death.
would club me to death. He would club me to death and he would smash my phone. He'd say like, so he has a device that he puts words into it and then the words go into the air and my device will take the air and pull the words out of it and then I ignore them. I would have bought a device to pull words out of the air that I don't want to read. And I carry it
So
with me.
specific.
and I look
carry
at
it
it
with me
every
everywhere.
30 seconds. I pull it out to stare at it.
The thing is,
Everywhere I go.
if there was a scale of useful things a human could do, then you're dealing with Twitter and it's like this. It's so narrowed down. And then it's narrowed down even further to the point where it's so irrelevant to anyone.
And I mean, we're now to the point where Twitter's been going so long. I mean, the people who kind of tweet a little bit more than other people, it's now way out of scale because of time. Like I tweet a little bit, you tweet less than I do. I don't know how much you do.
I have
but
like 2,000
I do
tweets.
maybe like five a day.
I have like 5,000 total tweets, maybe like 6,000, somewhere in that range. But then like now it's like my friends are like 80, 90,000. It's like that is a volume of information.
Well, the my ratio thing still comes into effect. Where if you have more tweets than followers, you need to calm down. Like
Why?
that
Maybe
drives me crazy.
But that's most people, Jack.
I know, but I mean,
most-
well, I
that's
mean,
most people.
just
Because you have a lot of followers doesn't mean you have any more to say.
No,
than
but I'm
people
saying
who
like
don't.
if you have
Why
15
talk to an empty room?
Well,
Yeah,
Jack, if
yeah,
you
exactly.
have one friend, how many times are you allowed to text them? Is there a limit on that?
then text them. Don't tweet them. Like that's not a public thing. That's
That's
like
just how people communicate.
But I mean, if you have 15 followers and 20,000 tweets, is like all right. Yeah, you are just talking to an empty room, basically.
You're off base on this. It's one big empty room. I mean, it's like how many like with how many Twitter followers you have, how many of them don't exist that you're talking?
That's true.
Think about that. I'm talking to people who just don't exist
I think
anymore.
about that a lot. Like how many
Yeah.
are just fucking
Just
bots
robots,
or hacked accounts?
It's a lot of them.
or
I mean,
dead people.
Man, I have gotten
That's-
I've gotten so much fucking Twitter spam this year. I don't remember it being this bad last year, but like hijacked accounts that are like UGG boots at a discount. Click here. Like what?
It's really embarrassing when I see someone I know who gets a hijacked account. I'm like, how did you? They're like, oh, I didn't really tweet that. It was a hijack. I'd say I would rather say that I tweeted that than I did something that got my account hijacked. You know?
I had a thing where so I have my own personal email outside of work, and I have a catch-all. Like my main email is a catch-all account, and someone made a like payroll at my personal email.com. And so I saw, like, suddenly my inbox was flooded like 200 emails where someone sent out a spam email with my, like, domain on the end of it.
Your
And it's
return
just like,
address.
Yeah, it's like, what the, like, how did that happen? And so I had to go through my, apps and everything and turn all that off. But it's like, shit, that sucks. So.
I gotta go with Gus on one thing though. There's one thing in particular that bugs the shit out of me that people do.
Is it Facebook?
No, it's on Twitter. It's a Twitter thing. It might be on Facebook. I never have used Facebook to any level. It's like every
I'm
now
saying
and then.
Facebook in general. Is that the thing that bugs you the shit out of you?
Oh yeah, I'm done. No, but I hate, and I have a lot of people on my feed that do this. I don't want to get involved with your customer service issues, okay? I don't want people to tell me like, oh, thanks United, you just canceled my flight. And then they call out United. But like they don't do it to United, they do it to everybody. Like they're gonna shame United.
And then everyone starts tagging in United and saying, hey, help this person out.
Yeah, it's just like, I don't, look, if you can't handle your life, that's you. I don't like customer service situations that I have to deal with. I don't want to fucking be involved with yours.
You just tweeted shit about Yellow Cab.
What'd I do? I tweeted I replied to Barbara.
Oh, is that why I saw? I guess that's why I saw
Yeah.
it.
Okay.
I replied to Barbara.
I'm totally guilty of doing that. I will 100% admit I've done that.
Everybody does it.
And no, it works. The thing is, because people are so scared of something on social media going viral and getting them bad press that they will jump on situations so much faster.
I just feel like you're using me. If you're on the phone with like you're on hold for 2 hours and my phone rings and I'm like, hey, what's up? And you're like, hey, dude, I'm on hold for 2 hours. I'm going to conference you in so we can talk to this guy. I'm like, 5 minutes. I'm not waiting on hold with you. To me, it's the exact same thing.
But also, it doesn't work necessarily. Like, for example, I did this when I was having trouble with Bank of America with my home mortgage. Fuck Bank of America. I hope they go out of business. So I had a snarky tweet like, I think I said something like, fuck Bank of America, I hope they go out of business. And I added them. And they replied like, oh, what's your problem? We're here to help. Send us a DM. They're like, okay, so they're trying to be proactive.
Yeah.
I send them a DM. I explain stuff. We go back and forth a bit. They're like, yeah, we can help you.
Oh,
it's like, oh, great.
See, that happened to me with TiVo, where like TiVo would charge me for something I didn't want to pay for. It was something like I specifically went out of my way and like, okay, I don't want this anymore. And they gave it to me anyway and charged me for it. And I called him up, and the guy was an asshole on the phone. And I ranted on Twitter about it. And like the next day, like a VP of PR called me, like directly called me and said, "We saw your tweet. How can I help you?" And I was like, "Fuck, okay, that's awesome." And so they actually went out of their way and took care of it for me. So I was like, "Okay, I respect that." And
to me, it's
tacky.
It's the equivalent of the people who will put signs on their car. About how they're like, that they've been wronged by some customer service or some government agency or something like that. To me, it's that same level. Now, I'm not saying like I've written like Xbox support going, hey, I can't use my credit card and at Xbox support because I'm communicating to them. It's the broadcasting thing that drives me crazy.
Have you figured that out yet?
What?
Have you figured out the credit card thing yet?
No.
It still doesn't
I'm
work.
still fucked too.
Yeah.
How much money
everywhere
is
Achievement Hunters.
Microsoft losing?
No, we don't do that on Twitter. We use our podcast.
Totally different.
Yeah, but everyone, we've all got this problem, and if anybody else is dealing with it too,
they must be
What was
losing
it?
so much
Someone else?
money.
Was it Adam Kovic? I think that has the
Yeah,
problem
Kovic
now,
had it too.
nobody in our company can buy anything
I
on the
can't tell
Xbox
whether-
Live Network anymore.
All you can do is go to Amazon, buy a card, a point card there, and then put it on your account.
It's gotta be an effect.
I'm wondering if it's affecting all of us because we all use a lot of Xboxes and we also have
Or we might also be like high volume.
like high volume
Purchasers.
gamer tags.
But you don't want to cut off your. I would think I'm a high volume purchaser. I buy a lot of downloadable titles.
Yeah.
And I like Xbox Live Arcade, which they don't call it that anymore. I bought half my games were XBL titles, maybe more. And I wonder if it has something to do with the volume. But man, if you cut off your high volume users, that's
Also,
a huge chunk.
we have a lot of volume, but it hasn't been an issue. There's no chargebacks. There's no fraud. I mean, we have a high volume with consistent good reputation. I don't know how else to say it.
Something's going on. It just basically, we're not really explaining what's happening. So we can't, when most of us at the company, started with Gavin, I think, we can't buy things on Xbox Live. It tells me use another payment method.
Yeah.
And I have like 4 in there now, and now they're all not working.
Yeah. It just says can't
I
authorize.
tried every credit card, every debit card, personal, business, everything.
Yeah.
None of them work.
Yeah, none of the Achievement Hunter guys can get that to work.
PayPal
Jeff can
doesn't
do it.
work
I can't
either.
do it. PayPal's not working. Yeah. And it's just super frustrating.
PayPal doesn't work. Nope. Wow. That's crazy. Yeah, something's going on.
I've just got a broken account though. It happened before the Xbox One. I migrated my account from a UK account to a US one.
Yeah, mine definitely started with the Xbox One. I haven't tried to purchase anything on the 360 since then, though.
You got a reason to now. You didn't try to purchase? What about...
I already had money in my wallet.
Oh, I see.
So-
Walking Dead Season 2 came out. I know he's playing it.
Yeah, my save. Another thing I hate. My save file got fucked.
I can go toe to toe with that. My Mass Effect 2 save file got fucked.
Oh dear.
Yeah, that sucked.
That's
and
a lot of time.
I'm one of the few people who played all the way through Mass Effect 1. So I was like carrying that thing for a while. Nice. And then Mass Effect 3 came around. I had a bunch of shit I didn't even recognize.
Do you not back up your stuff?
That was when I moved to cloud saves and I lost my memory stick. So
yeah, like I was trying to
one of the
find
things
my
I didn't
save.
move for whatever dumb reason.
I found my memory stick and I like load the save and it's like it has me at the very end of chapter 2 in season 1.
Oh.
So like all of 3, all of 4, all of 5.
Wow.
So I'm gonna have to go back. It has my 400-day save.
See, I just wouldn't do it again.
I've got to do it. I can't start season 2 with people alive that should be dead. I cannot
Is there
do
not
that.
one of those things that you can do?
I would fucking hate myself.
Do you know that they released for Mass Effect? They released some kind of tool where, like Gavin's saying,
Yeah.
you could make those choices.
It's really awesome.
Yeah,
It's essentially like a graphic novel.
is that what it is? The
Yeah.
Mass Effect one? I forget what it's called.
Fuck.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
thinking
but
I'm kind of
it's-
surprised they don't have that for Walking Dead, where you can just be like, I want to start my game this.
They
and this.
might, but I want to make all the choices.
Okay.
What does that mean?
Well, no,
Like
you
there's
get,
a lot of inconsequential choices too.
Well, then why would you
Like
wanna
I'm sure they're not going to
Why
have
do you want to
every
make
choice on there.
inconsequential choices?
I want to make sure it's complete. Like Mass Effect 1, you play the graphic novel thing, it's not everything in the game. You want to go through and set everything exactly the way you want.
But if it's
Yeah,
only
you
It's
stuff
not
that,
just the
again.
big story pieces.
but if it only is, it's only stuff that affects the actual outcome.
Yeah, what's the?
That's yeah.
what does
you-
inconsequential mean to you?
It doesn't feel right to me.
Okay,
All right.
you might be crazy.
But
I'm gonna
if
throw
it has
that
no, that's the equivalent of saying like, oh, in this level I farted on this character, and then
I
2
want-
years later you did fart on them, but it has
You know,
no way affected
Gus,
anything.
you will have. You're going to
Clementine
know
will
how to
remember
play
that.
through it this time, so you're not going to look in the wrong direction once, and that could affect.
Yeah, I know. I believe me. I have agonized over this. You're laughing and you're joking. I've thought about this. Like when I'm in those situations now that I'm
laughing at you,
replaying
not
it,
with you.
I'm like, how did I play this the first time? Like, what order did I explore?
Oh.
I'm trying to like recreate it as faithfully as I can. I'm a lunatic.
You should
Yeah.
press the
about
eject
that
button
game.
and go land in a field for a while and just cool off.
My eject button will be when I finally get back to season 2. I'll be like,
Gus, can I talk about something that might make you happy?
good, because I have other stuff I hate on my list here. So
I had
He did say might make you happy.
yeah, just like you, I had
guarantees.
a beer at Moe's Tavern in Universal Studios.
nice.
That was so awesome.
So
It's so surreal
it's
walking into that
gonna
room.
make me angry.
That's gonna make you angry.
When I went, they were out of Duff.
Oh, all Duff, all the three kinds.
They only had Duff Dark.
Oh, okay.
Rough life, dude.
I had Duff Dry, and it was actually really, really tasty.
The Flaming Moes are non-alcoholic.
They're non-alcoholic.
That also pisses me off.
The bartender was super nice. though.
Bartenders are good.
You're literally the only person in the world who get mad in Disney World. You got mad.
That's
in
Universal.
Oh, excuse me. In Universal Studios.
Were they working on the new Harry Potter stuff there when you were there?
Yeah, it was under construction.
Okay, yeah. So, dude.
Oh, how did you deal with that?
Oh my god! No. Well, so it's a new Harry Potter thing. So they have the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, the Islands of Adventure. I'm gonna get super geeky.
Your
on this stuff.
giddiness in your voice is just ramping up.
I get so excited about theme park stuff. So at Islands of Adventure, they have a whole Wizarding World of Harry Potter, which is like the Hogwarts ride. It's Hogsmeade, so the Three Broomsticks is there. Ollivander's Wand Shop, which should be in.
You say this like I
should
know
be in
anything
Diagon
about what
Alley.
you're
Like,
talking
ooh, the
about.
3 meats. Tell me more.
Anyway, so they have that all there. But in the other park, because there's 2 theme parks for Universal, there's Islands of Adventure and then Universal Studios. So Universal Studios, they got rid of Amity Island where they had the Jaws ride.
Oh, that's really.
Yeah. Well, actually, it wasn't there when the park opened. But anyway, so they got rid of that and they took that space and they're building up a London waterfront. So it looks like London from the front. You go inside King's Cross Station and maybe it's like you go inside and there's the Leaky Cauldron, which is like the you go into the Leaky
Really?
Cauldron and then you walk through there and you're in Diagon Alley.
Is the Leaky Cauldron actually a cauldron or is it a place?
It's a place. It's basically like a tavern.
I really don't know. Oh, it's
You
a
realize
tavern.
you're killing the absolute worst audience
I don't
here.
care. And so you go through there, and then you're in Diagon Alley, which is like where they have all the wizarding stuff, and they get all
Yeah.
the books and things. And then they're building a Gringotts ride, which is Gringotts is the
His
wizarding
face.
bank.
Let's just leave it on Bernie's face the whole time.
It's the wizarding bank. That's where like all the people have all their money and everything. So they're building a ride in there, and there's going to be a dragon on top of the building, which is cool. And they're building a train that goes from there all the way over to the other park. Like they're
Wizards
building a
need
Hogwarts.
their own bank? Is
Yeah.
that like a big deal?
Yeah,
Did they also
told.
have problems in 2008? Like, were they affected by the financial crisis? Was there like a wizarding mortgage scandal?
I feel like
they-
the caveman who you just explained the phone to. That's exactly how I feel right now. I'm
So
just like,
anyway, it looks really, really cool. It's supposed to open like this summer, and so I'm gonna have to go back and go check it out.
here's what I do know about.
It's
Here's
so
what I-
weird how people are so different. Like
What?
you would have to pay me to go and see that.
Why?
Because I just
'Cause it's too
really
close to home for you?
Massively just don't care about Harry Potter.
No?
It's weird
Yeah.
that people are just so different.
Did we?
We're
so
very
much
different
fun.
people.
When we went to we did not go to the the traveling museum show of the Lord of the Rings production. I didn't do that with you, did I? Yeah, they did a traveling like an exhibit, museum exhibit that went around, and I saw it actually in New Zealand.
I thought it was in Houston at one point. That's the closest it got to Austin.
Is that what it was? Yeah. And I went to that, and I went to the Harry Potter one. Didn't know anything about Harry Potter at the time, and it was. You're right. It was like two. It was like one. I was like, okay, these are close. You know what I mean? And the other one, I was like, whoa, they made chainmail.
Was
out of,
the was the one in New Zealand? Was that the Te Papa?
Te Papa.
Was that
Maybe
what
I did it with you.
Yeah, we went there. We held hands.
It was awesome.
It was in Wellington. I think it was our first trip down in New Zealand.
It was. We
went out
happened
there.
to catch like the Lord of the Rings museum exhibit at the.
Oh,
wow.
I went to that place with you, didn't I? But it wasn't any Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, I
stuff.
think we went to get a beer.
Yeah, we got
You
better.
and I went.
It's right. It's out there. Monsoon Poon's kind of close to the Te Papa, if I
Jesus,
remember
you and
right.
that
It's just like a little
restaurant.
further.
Poon.
Monsoon Poon's so fucking good.
Isn't like witches with brooms and stuff?
Yeah, go ahead.
Isn't that because they used to wedge the broom handles up themselves?
That I think is I believe that was something they used as propaganda. That they would put psychedelics on the end of a broom handle and put it in their vagina, and then that's where the modern day image of a witch riding a broom comes from.
So
I
they
will
rode
look
a
this
broom
up.
in a totally different way.
But that was made up. That was made up to like in one piece of propaganda. It just became like a thing. Like I also learned this. Did you know that Napoleon was normal or above average height?
Really?
No idea.
They just started that rumor about him to disparage him, his enemies.
What, that he was short?
That he was short. Yeah, sorry, that he was short.
Did Hitler only have one ball, or was that a myth too?
I don't know about
Is that a myth? I never heard that.
Yeah, Hitler only has one ball. The other's in the Albert Hall. How's that rhyme go?
What?
His mother has the other.
Go ahead. This
Is this like stuff you learned? This is like
It's like
British
ring around
school
the
child.
rosy. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I
It's
think
like-
there's something involving Hitler's testicles.
If you bomb the UK, they're gonna make rhymes about you only having one.
college
bomb.
mascots,
70
those are
years
weird,
later.
Gus. College
Yeah,
mascots
college
are weird.
mascots are strange.
But it's weird how things like become the opposite over time. Like I just learned that the literal interpretation of turn the other cheek means to hit somebody in the face because you're turning their other cheek. That's the literal interpretation of
Complete opposite of what.
the complete opposite. And the phrase "eye for an eye" means that you should like. What does that phrase mean? Eye for an eye.
That means if they stab out your eye, you can stab out
Yeah,
their
like
eye.
retaliation.
You should take revenge on somebody.
It's Hammurabi's
If you're
code.
wrong,
Yeah.
you have the right to.
Yeah, you should.
inflict the
It's
same
a thing for revenge, right? It's actually a limitation of punishment. That if someone takes your eye, you can't kill them. You can only take their eye. Like so, it's supposed to be a limitation of revenge.
Not what you're entitled to.
Yeah, not
So
a
don't
reason
give
to
back more. Like,
Yeah.
don't take their
It was
eye and their
Hammurabi,
testicle.
Hammurabi. Yeah.
I believe.
Hammurabi. Yeah. So I
I
think
said
it's
that
funny.
like a minute ago.
Did you?
Yeah.
He did.
No,
he
I'm
did.
drunk. Another thing I hate:
Drunk?
quotes.
Quotes.
Why?
I don't know. I feel like people who post quotes all the time.
Part is his Twitter feed's gonna be like, I hate quotes. Sorola.
You just fucked me.
Oh, no.
I feel like
Is it because we started typing to you with everything in quotes that
I
one
feel
time?
no. It's not quotation marks. I hate. It's just like people who like find profound meaning in quotes. I feel like
Oh,
you,
like deep, like
yeah. It's like
douchebag
you
quotes.
can't internalize. You can't make the thought yourself. So you look to someone else who's made the thought and then latch onto that, and then you fucking spam it all over social media.
It's inspiration.
No, fuck that.
This is a collective process that.
that.
we're all going through.
If you can't handle me at my worst, you don't deserve me at my best. All that fucking Marilyn, all that fucking fake quotes too. All this bullshit. I see that all the time now. Where like I see like a picture of Marilyn Monroe with a quote, and I'm like, there's no way she said that. Look it up. Oh, that's a Lady Gaga quote. It's like people are just putting shit in quotes and just attributing it to people. What the fuck does this even mean anymore?
does it matter if Lady
It
Gaga-
pisses me off.
What does it matter?
But it's like, but it mattered to them, obviously. It mattered to someone who found the picture and then put her name on there.
So do you agree that any woman who says, if you can't handle me at my worst, you don't deserve me at my best, that's like a terrible thing to say, right?
It is like
What
the
a
biggest
douchebag.
It is the biggest red flag there ever is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See
It's
you
a
later.
huge red flag. And I've been over to girls' apartments where it's on their wall, like
Yeah.
you framed.
Just
and
turn
I'm like,
around.
Whoa! It's your eject. Suddenly I'm gonna feel that I have no phone, and everything's good again.
Hey, Gavin.
Here comes Gavin from a conference call.
I had an ex-girlfriend where we were having an argument, and she was like, I finally like calmed everything down. It was like a really long conversation. Cost me a fortune because I was in France at the time. and was having this like really long conversation. She's like, it actually cost me.
At a time. I was in France a month earlier, but it still cost me money. I was in France at the time.
No, the phone bill was actually more than the plane ticket that I took to France.
Oh.
But anyway, I calmed everything down, and everything was fine again. I was like, oh, this might be salvageable. This is like a really bad argument.
That's a really bad thought, by the way.
And then
Salvageable.
and then she said, you should treat me like a princess. And I literally just went, to an extent. And then she just goes, boop, and hangs up. That was it. It was over.
Cost of a plane ticket.
Yeah.
You got to that point.
Jesus. To an extent.
You should treat me
You
like a
shouldn't
prince.
treat someone like a princess.
Well,
Because that's weird.
it is
like,
weird.
just like bowing down to them and doing all this stuff. That's not how I want to treat
Is that
women.
what
I
you
want
meant,
some
though?
sort of...
Is that what you meant? Do you think that's what you meant? I want you to bow down to me?
Nah, just like... No, she's not a damn princess. We're
Right.
equal people.
To an extent.
Back and forth.
To an extent.
So how would you treat Kate Middleton or whatever?
Like a princess.
Her you treat like a princess.
You treat her like
You treat a princess like a princess. You fucking curtsy. Be a proper.
You bow.
So this podcast is airing December 23rd.
Right.
Right before Christmas. So it made me want to ask everyone, if you think back about all the Christmas presents you ever received, what's the best Christmas present you ever got?
Any age, like when you think about
Any age, like
my
looking
ultimate
back
Christmas-
all of your whole life.
5 years old, I got a Playmobil pirate ship, and it's like the greatest thing of my life is that Playmobil pirate ship. I think it cost $50, which in $1954, but it was like the greatest thing ever. It's like I wanted it forever, and I got it, and it took me and my dad about 4 hours to set the damn thing up, and it was fucking awesome. They still make it to this day. Every time I see it in the window of a shop. And the places that sell Playmobil in the U.S. are the worst toy shops. It's like all these toys you don't want, all these like lousy like independent toys. And then I always see the Playmobil pirate ship, and I'm just like, I love it. I think it's still $50 to this day. Wow. But that's it. That's mine.
I would say either the Lego monorail, because I love that thing, or my NES. I think I was 5 or 6 when I got my NES.
Yeah. Was that a Christmas thing? Like when did that launch? Do you
I
remember?
don't know.
I have no idea. I feel like they soft launched. I want to say like in November or December, but it was like a super low key launch, and then they built.
Yeah, I'm sure I
over
didn't get it
time.
when it launched. I mean, I was 5 or 6 years old. I don't remember any of that, but yeah, that's pretty. I remember playing Super Nintendo just nonstop.
Yeah, you wouldn't have been-
playing Nintendo Super Mario Brothers nonstop.
Yeah, you would have. I mean, you would have been younger when NES launched.
It came out, what was it?
83.
Would you say that's the most?
Oh, then-
influential-
No, wait, 86. I want to say.
Okay, yeah. So I would have been 4 when it came out. So I was probably 5.
A little older. Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you, Gavin? Have you ever got a Christmas present you care about?
Yeah, I got this remote control car. It's called like Rebound or something, but it could drive upside down.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And
Yeah.
I would just drive into people's shins, and it'd be like, and it would roll up their shins, turn around, and then just do it again. So it'd just be like, it was like the best thing ever. Christmas Day, I was just trashing people's kneecaps.
I didn't realize that it would keep going. I thought it like went up and then came back in the opposite direction.
God.
It would.
I never
go-
had one, so I don't know.
It would drive up the wall, turn around, but then I think you could steer it the other way. But if you just kept holding it up, it would just keep going up the wall like this.
It's like your origin story. Birth of a cunt.
I remember seeing those commercials. I really wanted one
The
of
Gavin
those.
Free story.
I think for me, it was probably my SNES. I didn't get an NES for Christmas, but I remember getting an SNES.
Yeah.
I think it was like the year it came out, maybe. So
Okay.
it was a couple months after it came out.
October 18th, 1985 was the NES. So it was,
So I probably got it in 86. I probably got it the next year.
I think it was, it took a while to catch on. There was a lull after Atari.
Well, they sold that as a toy. That's why they had the whole Rob robot or the robot attachment was so that like Toys R Us would sell it and toy stores would sell it and not think of it as a video game because video games were so blacklisted after the Atari fallout.
Yeah.
So that was, I mean, the robot was just a Trojan horse to get it on the shelves as a toy.
Yeah. The Atari drop-off was so fast. You go read about the manufacturing units they manufactured for Pac-Man right at the end of the life cycle for Atari. And the E.T. game is probably the most famous one where they had to put in landfills. I want to say that they manufactured more Pac-Man cartridges than Atari consoles existed.
Jesus.
Because they thought they would drive sales of the Atari console. Because Pac-Man was like, it was a phenomenon.
And that Pac-Man port was terrible.
Oh, it was awful.
Pac-Man on the 2600 is a fucking piece of shit.
What was bad about it?
Dang, dang,
It was
dang.
like, meh. It was like so slow and everything was so blocky. Like it wasn't the same game. Like if you looked at it, you'd be like, "Oh, that's
No.
a Pac-Man ripoff."
The
Oh
maze
no, that
wasn't
was
even the same.
Pac-Man.
The maze wasn't the same.
No, it was
and
so
there's one maze in
simplified.
Pac-Man.
Really?
You just gotta get that one maze right.
Who was it that was showing me a video from the 80s about what was hot for Christmas presents that year? Was it? Did you see that? I
think it was
and
on
they were like
Reddit,
showing all this
yeah.
stuff, and then it showed one of those plasma balls, like the glass globes where you can
Oh,
touch
God.
them. And it's like, and
How
it was
much?
like $1,800.
Yep.
It's like, are you serious for that?
It
They're
was
like
a sharper image product.
they're like $30 now.
Yeah.
you
It was
get- you get
$1,800,
those-
and that's like in 80s money. That's like $3,000 now.
I didn't realize that like whenever you see one of those in like a really old piece of TV or something, that's really a lot of money.
Yeah, it's like that was like they spent a lot of budget on that. It's like that was like the cool thing to have.
I've always
that and the
wanted to
lava lamp.
What is there different air in those that lets it do that?
I don't know. I've never really thought
I
about
want
that.
to smash one in slow mo, but I don't want to get electrocuted.
You can get electrocuted. You'll be fine. Make Dan do it.
Yeah, how many Dan do it?
There you go.
I'm
Get a-
also
just get a wooden handle on the hammer. You're fine.
I'm not sure how I'd even film it actually because we need so much light for slow mo. It might actually drown out the plasma light
Right.
itself. I don't know.
Yeah, well, walk down history, or memory lane here. It's Atari produced 12 million units of Pac-Man, which was more than the number of Atari 2600 consoles sold at the time, anticipating a high number of sales that would drive the sale of the console, too. I don't think they called it a console, but it was the best-selling video game of all time when it was released, but it was critically panned with customers returning the game in large quantities.
I think they did call it a console. The 2600 was the VCS. I want to say that's the video console system.
Fair enough. Okay.
I could
Video
be
game
wrong.
crash. The video game crash of 1983, also known as the Atari shock in Japan, was a massive recession of the video game industry that occurred from 1983 to 1985. Revenues that had peaked at about $3.2 billion in '93 fell to around $100 million by 1985.
Jesus.
$3.2 billion to $100 million. Whoa. What is that?
What's the industry now?
That's like a 3% left.
what's the industry now? It's like $100 billion a year or something.
It was
Or?
video computer system.
Yeah, video computers. That makes
So
way more
that
sense.
makes sense. Yeah, it's huge.
Yeah, it's enormous.
I've seen people doing like some doomsday kind of stuff where they're like tweeting me or people are writing articles about how the video game industry is due for another like Atari type crash.
They dropped 97%.
Jeez.
The market dropped
Yeah, it's like-
97% in 2 years.
It's not gonna. I
don't
don't see that happening.
I don't think it'll ever happen.
I feel like they've
What, you
become
like it's going to collapse on itself?
not like that.
It
I
might
mean, it's
plateau,
become
but I
way
don't
more
think it'll
mainstream.
collapse.
I remember it. It's like the video game fad was over. Like video games were a fad, and it's hard to think of it that way. But they were done, and then the NES came out, and it was like,
Can you imagine that with like a current medium? Like movies are lame now.
Right.
We don't make movies anymore.
hey, remember we used to all walk around with phones? Phones. You know what I mean? It's like it's like it just went away.
Huh.
But arcades definitely went away. I mean, arcades became,
died off.
It's weird. And arcades now, when you go into one, they're horrible.
I miss arcades, man.
Yeah, they were cool.
Yeah, that was my first job ever. Was in an
They
arcade.
weren't.
That
I
was-
will tell you what. You know, what'd be fun to do. We should go, and you're about the only guy I can think that would do it with me. Let's go to Twin Galaxies
Okay.
because that would be blast.
Is it not Oklahoma? Where's that?
I think it's Minnesota.
I thought it was like Wisconsin or
Iowa.
Minnesota.
It's a
North?
Midwest place. So I'll look it up. Twin
cool.
Galaxies is a famous arcade where they would like preserve a bunch of old things. We have a cool
They-
one in
they're
Austin
like-
called Pinballs, but they just have too many pinball machines.
It's also really hot in there.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's not
Well,
my
it's
favorite.
BYOB too,
It's
which is
also
nice,
really hot. I like
It's
that.
really hot in there.
I would love to travel halfway across country with Gus to go to Twin Galaxies. He goes, "Nah, it's too warm." And then he leaves.
Yeah, we have a couple. We have a couple arcades in Austin. We have Pinballs, which is a pinball arcade, and then we have Arcade UFO. Is that still around?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That
I
was
went
one
there
of
just the other
It's
day.
on
Yeah.
Speedway.
They have a
Yeah.
4-player versus Pac-Man
Do they?
there.
That's cool.
Kids loved it. They thought it was awesome.
Yeah, that was one of the few places in America that got a Street
It's in
Fighter
Iowa.
4.
Twin Galaxies in Iowa.
Iowa. Okay.
We filmed some of the Atari kit at Arcade UFO.
Oh, really?
The DDR scenes
Okay.
were filmed there.
That's cool.
So
Dude,
4 days from now,
I hate
when in the
DDR.
middle of the day your Twitter account starts just saying it's Iowa over and over
Yeah,
again,
I'll be
you'll
like,
know
oh,
what
yeah,
that's,
that's right.
that's what we were talking about this at that
Yeah.
point in time.
Okay.
I'll go to Iowa. You want to go to Iowa?
Sure. Why not? I'll do it.
Go to Twin
I've been
Galaxies.
to Iowa.
Brag about it.
Not much there.
Corn.
It smelled like oatmeal,
It smelled like oatmeal. I didn't even know oatmeal smelled like anything.
like oats. Where was
Well,
I?
then say
I was
that.
in.
Say what you mean, Gus.
It smelled like oats.
What makes you angry about it?
I was in
Why were you
Cedar
in
Rapids.
Iowa?
My old job. There was the plant that made fucking pencils and pens
Oh,
in
yeah.
goddamn
the
Cedar
job
Rapids.
you bitch about this job. That's the job you quit working with me to go work at this other job.
I know, it was awesome.
Do you know Gus's excuse why he left the job where we all work together?
Why is that?
I feel like I should. That was his reason. He goes,
I feel like I should.
He goes, he was young, and he goes, I feel like I should change jobs every 2 years or some dumb thing.
I feel like that's still a mindset that a lot of people who work like in the tech industry have, especially like on the West Coast, like in San Francisco. People hop all the time from like startup to startup.
but usually for a reason. He was just leaving because he felt like he couldn't work in this job anymore because he'd hit 2 years and that's it. It was a very straightforward reason, and that's why he left his job.
That's like the equivalent answer of just like,
Yeah, but he was going to this job to then leave that job too. Like the
So
job
you had
he
2
was.
years.
Yeah.
You had an expiration date.
And I did. I think I was there 2.5.
So why'd you stay 10 at this one?
This one's all right.
This one's not. It's all right.
This one changes on a daily basis.
I can sit here and drink.
Get a drink beer on company time.
So do we want to talk about the big controversy that's going on now, which may have blown over by the time this airs, but the Duck Dynasty guy and all that hubbub about that?
I was trying to think of all the controversies I can think of right now. I didn't even think of that one at all.
Yeah, the Duck Dynasty guy, I don't watch the show.
One of the old guys.
Yeah, one of the old guys did an interview with GQ and made a bunch of, I don't even think homophobic is the right word. It's like anti-gay comments. Where he was like saying that it's a sin. They're very religious, I guess. And he was just like, basically being a hick. You know what I mean? And just like talking about how he equates. I can read the quote and tell you exactly.
He basically started down that path where it's like homosexuality leads to bestiality. And then on from there, and it's like,
if we let two men marry, then they're gonna marry turtles.
Yeah, it's like what?
Yeah, exactly. It's like
It was really bizarre, but I mean, I just wonder. It's like, what do you expect from that guy? You know, you shine a spotlight on this fucking person. You know, of course you're gonna see this.
I'm excited.
He's a clampet, basically. Like they found oil, and now he's suddenly super rich. And
I'm excited about all the old-fashioned people just to be dead.
I think I've mentioned this on the podcast before, but like to this day, when I'll like run into like a really old white person, in my head I'm always like, this person was around when racism was cool. Like what was this person doing?
They were on board.
Like were they complicit? Were they on board?
Yeah,
Here's his quote. I'll try to read it as best I can. It seems to me.
Do the accent.
It seems like to me a vagina as a man would be more desirable than a man's anus. That's just me. I'm just thinking. There's more there. She's got more to offer. I mean, come on, dudes. You know what I'm saying? But hey, sin. It's not logical, my man. It's just not logical. That's his quote.
Now let's have family dinner.
Also, why was GQ interviewing this guy?
Yeah, that's the story. What the fuck is GQ?
Fucking Duck Dynasty is huge. Like, go to a Walmart, go to a Target. There is Duck Dynasty shit everywhere.
Not for long.
Yeah, you know what else was big once? Urkel. He's not on the cover of GQ doing interviews and shit.
It's this thing where it happens in America where we celebrate stupidity, and it drives me fucking crazy.
Some people make a very good living at that, Jack.
No, absolutely, dude. Like Paris Hilton, she was a porn star, and they celebrated how dumb she was by putting her on a goddamn TV show.
Yeah, I think I've been through what you're going through. It's not really dumb that bothered me, and maybe it'll be the same for you. It's the shamelessness.
Yeah.
Like, there's no just like
books are for learning people.
Yeah.
Fuck that. It's like no,
Snooki.
Yeah, exactly. It's like don't celebrate. That's dumb. Why are we putting spotlights on these morons? And it's like, and then people from other countries see this and like, oh well, Americans are completely stupid. It's like, well, that one is, and that's the one we're elevating up, and it drives me nuts.
I didn't realize how big Duck Dynasty was.
It is huge.
But they played that.
I think it's like the biggest cable show.
It might be. Yeah.
They played the Slow Mo Guys clip on there because it's in one of the episodes. Like they're showing the old guy the
because they wanted to make a viral video.
Yeah. And every time that's on, I get like 1,000 tweets, and that's not even an exaggeration.
It's a huge show. It's a huge show.
Yeah, it's just it drives me crazy to see that stuff get like so like.
Well, you love Jackass.
Well, but
I like Jackass.
But it's like Jackass is those guys, clearly being dumb for the sake of being dumb.
Nah, you're rationalizing.
Okay,
You're
maybe I
with
am.
the flavor of
but
dumb
then
you
I see like Honey Boo Boo, and it's like, why is Honey Boo Boo suddenly incredibly important to this country?
I get it, but I've seen online the episode of Toddlers and Tears that she was on, and she's funny as shit, dude. She's funny.
But no,
it's
idiocracy. Like watch Idiocracy and tell me that is not happening to this country.
No, I get it.
It drives me crazy.
I get it.
Like, cause I literally have friends. Like I have like smart friends. Like we're not gonna have kids. We're not bringing kids in this world.
You're not smart friends.
And then you have morons.
He's talking about me, by the way.
But yeah, but like you and Esther, you're not planning on having children, right? No. But then you have I have friends that I knew from high school that like they had 5 kids already, and like they're 30 years old and they have 5 children, and it's like, wow, no, you're a redneck who works at a gas station. Why do you have 5 kids? And
why not though?
What? You're dumbing down the planet.
Let them do what they want. Fuck it. I'm not going to be around much longer.
Gus has infected me with anger.
I've got a few years left, and after that, fuck it. That's what I always said. Like
he always does that.
At
the old office, you and Matt tried to start a recycling program, and I would actively fight it by throwing trash in it. Be like, nah. It's like I'm not going to put myself into trouble to make the world a better place for your kids. It's like I only need the world to be good for another 30 years or so. Then after that, who cares?
Fucking use it. Leave it like a raisin.
It's like I don't want any inconvenience in my life. I just fucking burn it out. Then when I'm dead,
do you not want to leave your mark on the planet? Like
yeah,
a-
fucking charred.
No, I don't mean
cinder
like
mark. the fucking scorched skies.
Skid mark.
be the opening
It's
of a
like
Terminator
Matrix.
movie.
It's like the real world in the Matrix. Burnt sky.
I was getting attacked by computer squids.
Oh man.
But I mean, like even Honey Boo Boo, I've heard people say that if you watch it, it's actually like the underlying stories is actually a really close knit family.
I will say the mother on the show, I forget what her name is, but whatever. The mother on the show is taking the money they're making off of that show and basically putting it into a trust fund that the kids can't touch until they're 18. So that's cool. It's like, okay, I get that. Like they recognize what they have is kind of lightning in a bottle, and so they're not just blowing it on whatever. Like they're actually, saving the money. She's being smart about it. So I respect that. But
Can you get lightning in a bottle and like sell it like a plasma ball? That'd be.
You should film it for Slow-Mo Guys.
That-
You know,
there you
there's
go,
classic
we should try.
There's classic examples that I think that in show business, the biggest example of like what you're talking about there with like kids and money is Mickey Rooney, and I'll try to find the exact numbers on it here too. But I want to say, and I'll look it up, make sure I'm talking about the right person. But I think Mickey Rooney, his parents just like took all of his money from his child acting years, and just like in real world dollars, it was an extraordinary amount of money. I'll try to look it up while you guys talk about it.
Oof. Yeah, Macaulay Culkin was like that, right? Like his family was in charge of his money, and then they spent it all, I think.
I've heard that before. I don't know.
Didn't he divorce his parents or something?
Yeah, I'm trying
Yeah.
to think. Maybe it wasn't
He
Mickey
also dated
Rooney.
Mila Kunis.
Oh,
Good on you, Macaulay
did.
Culkin. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like he got his parents split up, right? But he also dated Mila
There was
Kunis.
some news about Macaulay Culkin just recently where he started a band where they make songs all about pizza.
It's awful. They cover. I want to say they cover Velvet Underground songs, but they change all the lyrics to be about pizza. It sounds like four dudes on heroin.
See, that's-
it's just not good.
That's why money isn't happiness, because you just get oddly bored.
I'm sorry,
Yeah.
it wasn't Mickey Rooney, it's Jackie Coogan.
Yeah.
I looked him up. Who played Uncle Fester. He was a kid who had a child career. So sorry, not Mickey Rooney. I apologize. I'm sure he had great parents.
Man, did you see the trailer for 22 Jump Street?
I did. I finally watched it.
It's terrible. It
Nah,
makes
come
me
on.
so sad. That the first movie was such a surprise and so great, and the trailer for the second
can't
movie like,
judge
is
it on
not good.
I'm sure it's gonna be fine.
I
if
hope
you
so.
like, I think it's a matter of setting expectations.
I
You
guess
probably
so.
went in with low expectations for 21 Jump Street. I went in with low expectations. Keep them low, you'll be fine.
All right. Well, maybe that's what it is, setting the bar really low.
Yeah.
Actually, I guess Anchorman 2 just came out, right?
I saw it.
Oh, they made
how
another
was it?
one?
Yeah.
I
was it?
hadn't heard. They've been fucking promoting that movie for 3 goddamn months. I've been watching
It's
fucking
Anger Man.
commercials about this fucking movie.
How was it, Gavin?
Do I want to buy a Dodge Durango sold by Ron Burgundy? Do I want to watch him do the fucking news in North Dakota? Sick of it.
How was it, Gavin?
It was all right.
Over.
It was all right.
It was.
All right.
I don't really like the first one.
I need to go check it out. I want to see that. I want to see Wolf of Wall Street. Bernie saw that. and-
I
so
really
good.
want to see Wolf
So
of Wall
good.
Street.
So good.
I said Wolf.
Go see Wolf of Wall Street. Can't recommend enough. It's coming out tomorrow on Christmas. Wait,
That's 2
2
days from
days.
now.
2 days from now on Christmas.
if you're watching the live stream, and then one day if you're listening to the audio.
I mean, if you're gonna,
And if you
be
listen to
detailed
it in
about yeah, it's maybe
2015,
2 days.
you've got
But
it on Blu-ray.
midnight screening. I guarantee that midnight audiences will be. You want a good audience with that? It'll be good. So
And
here's
Santa can leave you a present at the theater.
there you go. Here's the Coogan bill. As a child star, this is Jackie Coogan.
Who the hell's that?
He was Uncle Fester.
He played Uncle Fester in the Addams Family, the bald guy.
I
Had
know
the
who
light
Uncle-
bulb in his mouth that lit up.
Yeah, but it's like he was a child star. He worked with Charlie Chaplin when he was a kid. As a child star, Coogan earned an estimated $3 to $4 million. That equates to $48 to $65 million adjusted for 2012 dollars.
Jesus.
But the money was entirely spent by his mother and stepfather on extravagances such as fur coats, diamonds, and expensive car. Coogan's mother and stepfather claimed Jackie was just having fun and thought he was playing, not acting and working. She stated, "No promises were ever made to Jackie about anything. Every dollar a kid earns before he's 21 belongs to his parents. Jackie will not get a cent of his earnings." And she also claimed that Jackie was a bad boy, implying that he didn't deserve it. Jackie,
He was such a bad boy. We stole $48 million
65
from
million,
him.
yes, up to 65 million bucks.
That is a bad fucking kid.
Oh, that's really
You
bad.
send him to bed without dinner.
Yeah.
That is a naughty kid.
Without escargot. What the fuck they're
Coogan
eating?
sued them in 1938, but after legal expenses, only received $126,000 of the approximately remaining $250,000 of his earnings. When Coogan fell on hard times, he asked Charlie Chaplin for assistance, and Charlie Chaplin gave him $1,000 on the spot without hesitation. But I don't know what that equals in those dollars, but it was like a lot of money. Crazy. So now there's all sorts of laws. The legal battle led to the California Child Actors Bill, often called the Coogan Law or the Coogan Act. This requires that a child actor's employer set aside 15% of the earnings in a trust and codifies issues such as schooling, work hours, and time off.
I love the quote that any money a child earns before they're 21 goes to the parents.
Yeah.
That's some medieval shit right there.
Dude, America was a rough and tumble place. Kids were not, they were in, factories and stuff like that.
But if you get a job, are they saying that it goes to your parents? It should.
That's literally what this was.
No, I didn't mean like a normal job, like stacking.
We just had this conversation.
No, that applies to like acting and stuff. I'm talking about just like a job.
Like a job at Waitrose.
Shop. Yeah.
For instance. Yeah, would it go?
Like, should I have given all my
according to
earnings?
this idiot in 1938, this mother who spent $65 million. I wouldn't even know how to do that.
1938. So that's still in the Depression, right?
She probably just bought a lot of
front
plasma
it.
balls.
Yeah, no.
No,
That's
you're like towards the tail
towards
end.
the
but
end. Yeah, towards the end.
You're still in Depression times, and you're fucking baller as shit. Like you're extra baller.
65
Fucking
million.
depressed. Soup lines, people not working, people jumping out of buildings. You're like fucking lighting your fire with money.
You fucking burning dollar bills going, our kid is horrible.
Yeah, our kid's so bad. I gotta do this to teach him a lesson.
God, what a nightmare. Yeah, and those people just lived so big. I mean, granted, you could make the argument that the kid would not have gotten into acting. I'm sure the kid didn't just wander into an audition by himself, but that's brutal. Brutal.
Make a reality show with that.
That makes me want to have a kid.
Well, there you go. There you go. Because, I mean, gotta admit, too, it's like, if you start off a kid in acting, that's not a normal childhood. High probability it's going to skew the kid's view on life to begin with. It kind of almost, needs that money to, sustain that, to not just, what's the kid going to go off and do?
Yeah, for every Leonardo DiCaprio, you've got thousands and thousands of other kids who just didn't make it.
Who we won't name because they'll sue.
Yeah,
Because they're looking for a revenue stream.
yeah.
They need money. Yeah.
You heard about that kid who was too rich to deal with issues, right?
Affluenza.
I don't.
Affluenza.
This will make me mad. I don't want to talk about it. That's unfucking. There's actually.
that happened here in Texas.
Why don't
too.
you go ahead and tell it? Do you know what it is?
Gavin?
No, I'm bad at telling that the news.
So basically, this kid, he was drunk. He was, I think, 16.
I want to say at the time he might have been 15.
Yeah,
I'll look
so
it up.
he was young, 15 or 16 years old, and he was drunk driving, and he hit a car or something. Basically, he killed 4 people while he was driving drunk. And they arrested him. They took him to jail, or they took him to courts and jail. And the judge let him off because he had never been responsible in his life, and he was never anything he did. Basically, he wasn't responsible for because his parents would pay for it. Because of that, he couldn't be held responsible for what he had done. His
because he
actions.
was so rich.
And because he was so irresponsible, he could not be held responsible.
He couldn't be held
Exactly.
responsible because he was never held responsible. For
And they call it
his actions.
affluenza, so which is basically his parents are so affluent.
They should give it a worse name than that.
Yeah, about being an asshole.
But now,
cancer.
Prickitis.
Listen, it's one of those things where there's a criminal law case where whether or not this kid's going to jail, and then the judge is like, oh, and you always hear about verdicts there. Then there's going to be the civil lawsuits, and those have already started. That's totally different, dude.
Can I ask a question?
Like O.J. Simpson was never convicted of murder, but he got his ass sued off by the Goldman
Well, that's the thing
family.
about the civil lawsuit is sorry, my client is too rich to go. My client is too rich to be held responsible. It's like, okay, we can solve that problem.
Yeah.
They are going to take these guys for all they're worth.
The judge let that go, right?
Ultimately, the Goldmans, I think, put O.J. Simpson in jail because they sued him for money. Then he tried to hide all of his stuff, and then remember he got in jail for breaking into a sports memorabilia place.
I was in Vegas when that
kidnapped
happened.
Someone basically.
So it was something to do with his memorabilia.
basically,
though.
He was trying to get his Heisman back.
Yeah.
And that happened in Vegas. I was there when it happened.
That's cool.
I think we were both there.
Yeah, I was. It happened at the Palm. I want to say, but we were on the strip. We were at the Bellagio.
Because he set it up like he was going to buy some memorabilia, or he had someone say he was going to buy some O.J. Simpson memorabilia, and the guy showed up, and O.J. was waiting for him there in the room.
Yeah.
And then they basically they kidnapped the guy, they held him. They're like, give us our stuff back. And anyway, but
All right, well, we're on time.
Anyway,
We gotta
fuck
wrap
that
it up.
guy.
What were you going to say? You were about to say something, though.
I
I
don't
thought
remember.
you were.
I don't remember.
Yeah, but that's crazy. The other thing, though, I want to point out, which we hadn't brought up, and I keep meaning to bring this up, is that I don't know. I should know, and it makes me sad that I don't. There's a kid in Texas who was thrown in jail because he made a comment on a forum or on a social
Oh, was
media
it
site.
a
San
game, I wanna
Marcos.
say.
It was in San Marcos.
Yeah.
It was like a gaming thing, and someone goes, "You're crazy," and he goes, "Yeah, I'm crazy. I'm gonna go blow up a school." And they threw this fucking kid in jail for making a crack on a forum.
Yeah, they
and
took it out of context and he got sent to jail. I think it was League of Legends he was playing.
and it was like the quote taken out of context. It looks like it, but it's just, dudes yakking on a forum, and it literally, the quote does say, "Oh yeah, right, I'm so crazy," and I can totally read the tone of it even out of context.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like this kid was tossed in jail for making terrorist attacks. He's talking about like go blowing up a school and like raining blood or something like that.
Isn't it meant to be like free speech in this country or something? There, like you
Not
can say
terroristic
anything.
speech though.
Yeah, you can't make threats. Like, and
You can't threaten
incite
the
panic.
Yeah, you can't threaten the president. You can't incite panic. There's a few things you.
So
can't
there's
do.
no free speech.
Yeah, there's free speech except for a few exceptions.
It's like if you're
the same
endangering other
everywhere, isn't
people,
it?
essentially.
Free speech is a weird thing. Like this came up with the Duck Dynasty thing too, because A&E, the network behind Duck Dynasty, fired the dude or indefinitely suspended him, and now people are boycotting him. There's like all this stuff about free speech. People get free speech out of line too. Like this is the thing about being in jail. That's actually a free speech issue. But the First Amendment is specifically says Congress will make no act to abridge people's speech. Yeah. But like if a place like throws you out or if A&E fires you for saying something, you really don't have any rights because they're not Congress. They're not making a law that says you can't say it, but they can fire you for saying it. So
yeah, if someone goes on a racist tirade, their company can absolutely fire them. Be like, all right, fuck you.
They
you're
have
done.
the right to stand on the street corner and say that if they want.
Yeah.
Congress isn't going to do anything, but they're going to have to suffer other repercussions for it.
My personal opinion, especially with the Duck Dynasty thing, is it's such a weird like thing. It's like this guy shouldn't have said it, but he can say it if he wants to, but he shouldn't have. A&E can fire him, but they probably shouldn't have. You know what I mean? It's like one of those things that's like, but they did fire him, and I totally agree. You know, if that's fine. If they want to fire him, I get it, and it's well within their rights to fire him at the same time. My personal opinion is, if someone's going to be dumb and do something like that, I would be totally content, maybe not to pay the dude, but I would be totally content to let somebody very blatantly stand on the wrong side of history. You know what I mean? You're just watching them of like, do you really want to be that dude? Like, 30 years from now, that's going to be stand the test of time of you're on the wrong side of history. You know, it's just like, I still can't believe when I see people like yelling at black people at a counter. You know what I mean? And they know the photographers are there and they want to be seen yelling at the black. It's like, how did you not know that you were going to look like a maniac for the rest of eternity?
Yeah.
You know, it's just like, it's amazing to me. It's amazing.
Absolutely.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Hey. So we're going to talk about podcast awards next week.
Oh, shit, I wasn't there for that.
Yeah, well, I'm going to send out some.
Oh, that's right. I listened to a little bit and I texted you during the middle of it.
Yes,
did you get my text?
Yes.
Did you mention it on the podcast?
No.
Oh.
So we'll be back next week to talk about that, and we'll be back. But before that, we'll be back this Wednesday with another episode of The Patch, pre-recorded also.
Christmas podcast.
So
Christmas patch.
Have happy holidays, guys.
Gus is not having it. Bye. Everybody.
Burnie, Gus, Jeff, Joel, and Matt. Barbara, Gavin, Michael, and Joe the cat. An hour and a half is how long it's going to last. So relax, cause you're listening to the Rooster Teeth Podcast. Yeah. It's the drunk tank. Gavin's a fucking idiot.